Yeah, there he is. We are going to be going into our next match. This is the finals match for Group B, right?
That's right. It's
Okay.
going to be Soma against JYJ. I believe we're already done game 1, but I'm not 100% on that. We'll see in a minute. But that is an amazing finals. It's not a surprising finals to see there either.
Oh, there's Reach. No, that's not Reach. That's just
That
a
is
handsome
Reach.
guy. Is
No,
that Reach?
I think you're right.
It's Reach? I thought for a second with the
If
badge.
he turned into the light, I could tell you for sure. Oh, I think it was Reach, though.
Okay.
I think you were right. Don't you ever... Why do you
Why
question
do
yourself?
I doubt myself?
Why do you do that?
This match is going to be, it's JYJ versus Soma, and it's going to be sick.
Yeah.
We're already approaching the end of some of our groups here.
Yeah. They should be split into 2 halves. So
yes, that's correct. So we're going to be having the...
Maybe even 3 halves. I don't even know.
We're going to be having the ending matches for a lot of these groups here, where we'll be deciding who actually gets to go into real KSL. We're just beginning. We're seeing the beginnings of this tournament form here now. So here are some results so far. It also looks like we have Force versus Sharp.
Yeah, that's not a big surprise at all. Sharp should be favored there. Force is quite a strong Zerg. Yeah, and for me personally, I think that Sharp's weak matchup is TVZ, so maybe there's some tiny chance that he loses there. JYJ against Soma is amazing. Soma should be favored. I think Soma, in my opinion, is the best Zerg versus Terran player in the world right now.
Also, Ample and Hyun did not make it out of Group B.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very, very stacked group. Ample, of course, made it into KSL last season. But not surprised to see him fall to JYJ. JYJ is just a very good Terran. He's normally on the cutting edge of the meta, too. Ample's a little bit more stylistic than most Terrans.
Yeah. And we'll be going to Group C shortly here. But again, this is the match we're going to be casting coming up here, JYJ and Soma.
That's right. What's the next group?
I don't know.
I want to see the results.
Let's just stay in Group B a little bit longer.
The results.
Here is Group C. So Mind and Shine.
Okay.
Now, I was talking about this in the pre-show, but I really think that Shine has a very good shot against Mind. Shine is super cheesy.
Yeah.
I think he knows how to play around Mind's style. Mind is on top of the ladder right now.
Yeah, I think it's favors Mind, to be honest. I think Mind's TVZ is really quite strong, and I think he's the type of cognitive player that can do well against Shine's bag of builds.
Yeah.
You know? So for the next group, Light undoubtedly is in that finals, right?
But who would he be against? I can't remember who was on that side of the bracket.
Baxter. I think it's going to be Baxter over there.
Baxter's a good guess.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't make it. Yeah, Light versus Baxter. There it is.
All right. Unfortunately for Baxter, I think that's one he's meant to lose. I think Light is going to move on out of that.
Yeah, well, Light is... His TVZ is second or third best in the world, realistically.
Yeah.
Maybe it's third. I think most people would agree on third for him, but mechanically he is as close to Flash as anyone, and he's very, very strong in this matchup. But Baxter's good, man. He is legitimately such a strong Zerg player. All right, then no big surprise here for Chichi versus Oregon in the finals of Group E, which is exactly what we were kind of expecting.
Right.
I don't know who takes that.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
You know,
I want to lean
it's
towards
tough.
4GG, but I don't know. Oregon's one of these players. I know he's very good, but I tend to
4GG practices so hard right now, and he's kind of a technical player. Oregon is a little bit of a technical player as well. Gosh, yeah, I think it's a very close, highly contested match.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. I think Calm takes this, but Modesty is so good.
Modesty's ZVZ is quite strong too, so I would not be surprised if he knocks Calm out here.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I mean, Calm's ZVZ is good too. I feel like he's more strategic, and Modesty is a little bit more mechanical.
So it'll depend on kind of the ZVZ that develops, and then who's...
Yeah, like I could see Modesty
what?
grinding it out, but I could see Calm outsmarting him, I guess. But
there's so many little mind games you can do early on to just steal a win in a ZVZ as well. I think a lot of people don't appreciate the complexity of the openings in that matchup.
No, it's a very cool matchup once you actually start to understand it. The second best mirror.
And that should be it, right? Yeah, for a group.
Yeah, those are the groups that are going on right now.
So that's the first half.
Yeah.
we have not even started the second half. That'll be happening later on. We do have a longer break in the middle of the day here before we start the second half.
Sure.
Anyways, going into this match, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so this match is going to be Soma JYJ. I expect Soma to win 3-1. JYJ is quite strong, but like I really think Soma is the strongest ZVT player right now. He's on the very cutting edge of strategy. His mutalist control is out of this world. He's the type of player that can make Flash look mortal, right? And JYJ is, again, he's a very good player.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is as hard a TVZ as you can get. It truly is.
Yeah, this is one where I think mechanically the Zerg might just beat down on the Terran.
Yeah.
I think it's one where we
Could
might
be.
just see better control and better engagements.
He also, Soma invents some of the new meta. So there's some builds that I've heard about and played against just a little bit that are new from Soma coming out.
Okay.
Some new modified Ultralisk rushes and stuff. And those types of builds come down to a lot of knowledge from Terran, where if you are not at the bleeding edge of the metagame, you might literally just not know how to beat it, and the way you think beats it is actually what it beats. That actually happens sometimes with some of these like ultra rush.
Are you talking about a build where they basically skip almost all the tech, go straight into Hive, sit on their base and mass up Links and Ultras?
Something like that. So specifically at Corrupted Cup, Hawk was showing me in the most brutal way possible a new 6 Mutalisk 2-hatch play where you take a quick third and you only build additional mutas if they start really pressuring you and getting into ultras with that very quickly.
Okay.
And it was like a new form of rushing to ultras, which was super strong.
Ultras are fascinating because if you can get them fast enough, it's so hard for the Terran to deal with them. They're just so ridiculously good.
Well, the Terran has to hit the breakpoints on upgrades and take control during those moments. So if you miss on your upgrades or your macro, then you're going to be in trouble. Now, I don't know exactly what we're going to see here from Soma, but I'm just saying it's like between mechanically how strong he is with mutas and his cutting-edge builds, I find it hard to imagine JYJ, who, while being a strong Terran player, he's not like a Terran leader. I feel like, you know, when you get these guys that are the best, you got to also be the best. Like Soma versus Light, I'm like, bring it! Oh, yes! Let's see what that is. Or Soma versus Last, or Soma versus Flash.
Yeah.
But against JYJ, when we're dropping down to like, you know, 8th best Terran or something like that, it's like, okay, well, I mean, there's certainly the possibility that JYJ can win. You know, in fact, it looks like he won game 1. Obviously, we didn't get to see the Neo-Silphic game or what occurred there.
Basically, for those of you just tuning in, the qualifiers are going on right now. So the production team is diving into whatever they think is going to be the most interesting match, and that's how we're teleporting into these games. So some series we're not getting to see, for instance, game 1 here. But JYJ already winning game 1. By the way, Choma Zerg is Soma, just for clarity here. Yeah, if JYJ can take one game off, I don't see why he couldn't take a second or even a third, as good as Soma is.
Sure. I'm really wondering what that first build was. It could have been anything from, you know, proxy barracks into macro games. So it's really hard to get a handle other than just looking at like, oh, it's 1-0. Okay, well, it's a best of 5, so the best player should win, right?
Right.
Now, even if JYJ wins this game, the map after this is Blockchain, which becomes a map that's pretty good for Zerg. So I feel like almost no matter what, we're going to get a pretty long series. Can
you explain to me why is Blockchain so strong for Zerg fighting against a Terran? Because as a Protoss player, I don't know kind of the trials and tribulations of that matchup.
Yeah, so basically, like, first off, Blockchain you could play normally, right? We've seen Zergs do that occasionally, but that's not what you expect. The bases that are like islands, like Mutalisks will just keep you out of there. Right?
Okay.
Like you can't do it. Mech plays aren't as strong there because you can't really get into dropships, which means you can't threaten any of the island bases.
Is there no way to just go bio and
you do go
science vessels and just try to shoot down the eggs and then go in there and take out those expansions?
The problem with that is the Mutalisks give you such control early on that generally you can shut off all the routes to those bases.
Okay.
So then it becomes this thing where it's like, okay, well, how many vessels do you get? Are you how many dropships are you going to get? Are you going to try to really push that? You know, that's, for instance, we saw Nada's Nuke Rush there, right? That was his novel approach to trying to stop that. So we'll talk more about it once we get into blockchain, because we will get into blockchain. But yeah, it's definitely a good map for ZVT.
So this is such a big map. It makes for some very wild ZVTs. From what I've seen, oh, hold on a second.
Well,
Starport, is that 2 starports?
JYJ.
Yes, it is.
He is not playing anything that could be accused of being standard here. You know, this is not a bad choice, I think, for him. Like, I don't know exactly what his Wraith Micro looks like, but in these positions, I look at this and it's like, well, Soma's got some of the best Mutalist control in the world, and then the back of your natural is facing his base, right? So the harassment would be intense. He's going for a 1-base play here. He's going to try to bring it down just instantly to build order and control.
Although this build order from Terran is very strong, it's also the oldest build, or one of the oldest builds in TVZ. People going 2-port Wraith was very, very common early on. It had a lot of different ideas behind it at the time.
It did exist back then, which is so funny because
the
control back then was such garbage that it should have just always lost.
It's so funny to see what builds have actually transferred over throughout the entire history of StarCraft, even though the ideas of those builds are quite different.
Yeah, because now it's just about microing them like a madman. Like, you are just, it's all about your micro. That's what it comes down to.
And because Zergs were still trying to figure out just Terran as a race overall, this is one of the many headache builds that would come out that was very problematic to deal with as a Zerg. And a lot of times they would just try to get your overlords and snipe drones and control the map and then eventually switch into bio. So this Vulture over here is intended to contain the Zerg. There's no way to get a drone or a Zergling out. Oh, that's too bad.
I can't believe he missed that. Yeah,
oh,
he's like, wait,
okay.
It can't have gone that far. Where is it?
So that supply blocks a Zerg, which means he can actually get the second Overlord over here. The Spire should just now be finishing.
Yeah.
And this can start to snowball the supply blocking.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is actually really bad.
Oh, he gets the supply block off before the Spire finishes. The Spire just finished, so he needs another Overlord. There's the Overlord.
Oh, get the Overlord.
And there's another one. But yeah, he can actually kill like 2 of these.
Well, that blocks him again, right? Now there should be Scourge coming.
Yeah, he has units being made, so like he'll have something pop up. Oh, this is.
Is it better to get the drones or to keep getting Overlords? I guess he doesn't
know. He's got Burrow already.
Damn, he's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is Soma, man. Look at that. Okay, so he has a few units out here. When Cloak finishes, obviously he can come back for more. Now, when we do see 1-base 2-port Wraith like this, what eventually you're generally going to see from the Terran player is an expansion into bio play. But sometimes you see the Wraiths just kill the Zerg. It is possible. I feel like Soma won't die to it.
I don't think so, but let's see. You know, when you supply block the Zerg a couple times early on, these build orders are so tight that it really screws everything up for the way that things are coming out for the Zerg. Remember, you can only have 3 larvae at a time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're supply blocked for a while, like we saw already in this game.
Yeah, you're just losing value.
Yeah, exactly. And the Wraiths are high enough in number. It's always possible you can snipe down an Overlord and then just take a fight. And there's 2 spots that have to be defended right now, the main and the natural. There's 2 Overlords here right now. Now, these can be microed just like Mutas can be microed.
Yeah. Let's see what he gets done. And how many he actually ends up making.
He could actually dive on an Overlord here. There's just 1 Overlord.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This. So 6 Wraiths does 1-shot a drone. It's a beautiful number to have.
Does he really want to leave him cloaked like that?
It's a really hilarious thing. Like, every pro gamer doesn't pay attention to Cloak. It's insane. I've seen people win MSLs and OSLs, and like half the Wraiths are cloaked and half are not, and like they just don't even. It's like something that foreigners really are on top of, and I've never seen a Korean pro do well.
Okay, he's going to try to dive on this turret. There are so many Wraiths here. Oh, great targeting. Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, that's really good.
So Overlord speed's been upgraded. He's going to need to sprinkle a lot more turrets in this location to keep this safe.
Great control so far by JYJ. Now, Soma decided to instantly take another 3rd base, by the way, when the Wraiths came out. We don't really have that many drones, though, so...
This is just not going to work for Zerg, right?
No, I don't think so.
This is just a fruitless endeavor.
Yeah, that's a tough
In fact, he might have wanted to stay on top of that. You can moving shot whichever side starts to win, Wraith or Muta, you can moving shot them all the way through their retreat.
Now, Soma knows more about this than me, so it's interesting to see him really try this. It feels like what he's trying to do is keep so much pressure on you can't even repair, but it's not working with these turrets here. Plus, JYJ's micro is really good. Mutas actually beat Wraiths straight up. It comes down, like the Wraiths have to utilize their tech advantage and micro to have any chance against Mutas, because Mutas will just beat them. Like, you throw 12 of them into each other, the Mutas destroy.
Okay, so the Mutas again coming in here. Bear in mind as well, the Wraiths can be repaired, whereas the Mutas will have to heal over time. But the more and more turrets that come up here, turrets are the natural defense against Mutas, but when you have them clumped up like this, the Mutas tend to absorb damage all evenly, so you tend to lose the Mutas all at the very end of the fight. And at the end of this...
Well, we hear that right now.
Look at that, yeah, you can suddenly see it. As the dust settles, it's 2 Mutas versus 2 Wraiths.
I wish we had a chart here. I feel like we've lost about 6 Wraiths, but we've lost near the... It has to be 10 Mutas.
Terran has not been able to tech out of this, so we're locked in Muta versus Wraith. A Muta versus Wraith arms race here. The third gas is about to complete for Zerg, which will allow him to get more momentum if he wants to stay on the course of making more Mutalisks.
And maybe, again, that could be his plan. This is a fringe build, and it's, again, one of the leaders of Zerg playing against it. So I don't want to be like too critical about anything he's doing, even the mass, just the continual Muta fights. This could really be part of it, where he's like, okay, like you said, he hasn't been able to really tech out. Maybe you just continually do this, and eventually, we'll be on 15 minutes, and it'll just be Wraiths for this Terran, and that's not where you want to be. You have to get into something else. It's past the point where the Wraiths can just end the game.
Okay, the funny part about this is there's actually very little ground defense.
Yeah.
There's so much emphasis on just getting enough air units out here that I think things might start to get a little bit out of hand here. It doesn't appear like there's enough protection, in the main.
Yeah. I wonder where you go from here with JYJ. Like, okay, so he's just continued to make Wraiths. He's got 7 right now, but obviously Mutas can be produced more quickly. And again, they do win in fights. We don't see any sort of teching up. I haven't seen an armory, so no Valkyries or anything like that. Ooh, the +1, beautiful.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
I think this is a pretty tough dogfight to actually take, but you know what? If he gets rid of that Overlord,
that would be a huge deal. You got to be careful. If, like, for instance, when you see that, sometimes you'll see the Terran try to dive on it, and then another Overlord comes and meets up, and you really get punished.
Sometimes you want Overlords just to the side.
Yeah.
Same thing when you're going for mass carrier and you have observers with the carriers, and you know they're going to go Wraiths. You keep one observer just off screen, so when they come in there, you just pull that next observer in.
Don't tell people that. That's my get out of jail free card. Don't tell them about that.
Scourge connecting. These turrets getting lower and lower in HP, now down to 4 Mutas. Not clear on how many Wraiths there are. It's very difficult to count them when they're stacked. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not a good selection. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so he's got 9 Mutas here. So still the Mutas can kind of fight. Look at this. He's picking off these turrets. I tell you, man, you can really see Soma's skill here, because this has felt wrong for a long time, but it seems to be working. So it's like almost, it almost feels non-intuitive, but...
Well, I think with that third gas kicking in, suddenly Terran is not able to keep up in this race. Now we have, I think, almost a point of no return here, right?
Yeah, it might be. Like, maybe he can squeeze out a few more turrets, but definitely 3-hatch Muta, 3 gas Muta here, looking pretty good. Damn, Soma. He's so good.
Yeah, he made this look quite easy.
He's so good, really.
Before this game ends, is there any merit in, during these attacks, for the Wraiths to come down and kill all the drones?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that if you do that, first off, he has Burrow to hide them.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then the Mutas will commit at that point. They will just go after the Terran. So maybe if you built enough turrets to hold them off momentarily, it could be worthwhile.
It would seem like at this point you could even do something like throw down a den and mass up Hydras and just break the front.
Well, I think that's what he was trying to avoid to do, because the moment that you switch out of pure pressure, they'll stop making Wraiths. Wraiths are really expensive. 150, 100 per Wraith here. So obviously you can very quickly add on more barracks and stuff, and then the Hydras are not going to scale very well. Yeah, look at this. He's trying to get some turrets up, but I love that Soma now has made some Zerglings as well. Because turrets do not hit Zerglings, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, one thing about when you go for this Wraith tech, you're kind of stuck going for it, right? You need to make it work, because if you're trying to switch out of it, they keep making Mutalisks, you eventually get smothered. In this case, he never stopped making them, and he still had more than enough.
Well, you know, it's wild to actually just watch this. He just commits on it. Like, he just knows, you know? He's like, oh, yeah, no, now I kill everything the mutas. It's fine. I'm still rallying up units. Yeah, no, fight over all the turrets. Not an issue. No way for you to come back. And really, there's no production here. Yeah, JYJ doesn't have, like, a bunch of Braxes. He lost his starports. Dude.
So that ties us up 1-1.
So strong.
Yeah, he's
so
good.
Strong. Ridiculous.
I mean, for how well that went early on as well, it's pretty impressive to see that Zerg was able to stabilize and just come out on top. Immediate burrow as well against the Wraith play. It completely mutes any advantage the Wraiths would get.
That was cool. He really got burrow quickly.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much more that JYJ could have done better back there. He actually got, what was it, 3 Overlord kills in a row, which sandbagged the progress of the mutas coming out.
Yeah.
And still Zerg was able to come out on top.
Well, the fact that Soma immediately went out and started fighting him and was losing units basically the whole time, and still it was just fine. It was no problem.
Yeah.
It's like, well, your production is 2-port Wraith.
And eventually the Wraiths that were on the offense became on the defense. He wasn't able to attack the Zerg that was taking a third gas. 3 gases, if you invest in mutas only, especially when you have armor for the mutas, there's no way you're going to stop that with Wraiths.
Yeah. To put into perspective, 1 gas produces 3 mutas per minute.
Yes.
So that is 9 mutas per minute.
The funny thing about Wraiths, too, in Korea, a lot of times they'll refer to them as paper airplanes because they're not actually good at taking damage against anything.
Yeah, Wraiths
in some ways, they are like the worst unit in a fight.
Yeah.
If they're both hitting each other.
Yeah.
Now, with Cloak, that can change things pretty quickly.
Yeah, you have to use them in a strategic way.
Yeah, they're very nimble, and especially against air, they do damage quite quickly. So if you're able to cloak them and ambush an air army, it's pretty incredible what you can get away with. But, I mean, even against Marines, or, you know, I guess anything that can hit air, they basically die to everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're ready for
really
the next game. We're going to jump into that now.
You just have to have so many. Well, flying units are so funny in StarCraft 1, too. Because, like, you can stack them all on top of each other, right? So, theoretically, you can get the DPS per area higher than anything else, which is part of the reason why mutas are so strong, right?
Right.
And that's theoretically why the Wraiths are going to be strong.
One unintended consequence of the Mutalisk was the glaives they gave to it.
Yeah.
That the damage bounces off, and so...
It's huge.
And the glaives can hit locations that the mutas couldn't have reached.
Yeah, they can bounce really far, actually.
So a lot of times when you see the mutas hitting, let's say the turret they're targeting, you want to watch and see, as a spectator, where those glaives actually stretch to and are hitting. Because a lot of times you'll see these fights where it seems like the mutas aren't doing that much, and then everything suddenly dies because everything was eating glaive damage.
Yeah, it's funny. I have had games, I can't think of a specific one to mention, but like there have been games even where, as a Terran player, you'll want to get rid of the middle thing that's the glaives are bouncing off of. You know what I mean? Because it's like allowing the glaives to come all the way into your mineral line or something.
Yeah,
like
it can hit a depot and travel into
exactly. So you'll either want that depot to die or you want... Because it's like if you're repairing it, but the glaives keep bouncing off and killing SCVs that are repairing it, it's like, no, just kill the depot.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. It's not worthwhile. But yeah. Okay, so here we are on blockchain. They're cross spawns. I think that what we're seeing here from JYJ is just going to be a command center first, most likely. Obviously, it can be just slightly risky, but this is a Ling tight wall on this map.
Right.
So that's pretty good.
Quick pool and gas.
Yeah, so that should have been 12 gas, 11 pool, or vice versa. What this is going to allow him to do, he'll probably get his layer at like 1240, 1245, and just get really quick Mutalisks.
Okay.
And that's just a style that he likes to use in general. We'll see what he ends up doing with it. As far as JYJ goes, I mean, I mentioned before, I don't think mech is doable on this map. You will occasionally see mech on the map, but I don't think it's a
Do you
strong
just
choice.
get drones here with this? There's no lings? I just wonder because the
Oh.
barracks just started, so I wonder if there's any merit in getting lings out. I guess you're assuming he's
No.
not going CC first.
Yeah, and even if he is, against this timing of the pool, you don't actually kill him.
Oh, really?
No, yeah. You actually have to really focus on that. Like, if the SCVs jumped out each and every time forever,
If they
maybe...
were Artoses' SCVs.
Yeah, I died to this, but any player with regular SCV RNG does not. But yeah, you don't really make that many links here. You don't really need them. You got to focus on your economy a little bit. So anyways, we'll see where JYJ wants to go with this. You can actually do things like go into Wraith from here. it is possible. I don't know if
And that
it's
would
something
be-
you want to do.
That
but
would be Wraith with a second gas.
yes,
as
right
well,
away.
which is hugely different from...
In an economy that can afford turrets.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you're going to have that, but
No,
if you
I don't
do,
either.
that would be cool.
But I believe... Is that a second Rax or factory? It's a factory.
Factory.
Okay, so he is teching very quickly, but there's all sorts of things this can be. I mean, even going up to Valkyries wouldn't be that bad a choice. I feel like against someone like Soma, you don't want it to come down to micro. You want to get Splash to deal with his micro units. You know?
Okay.
Whether that's Valkyrie, whether that's Science Vessel.
Wow. Quick Hydra Den.
Yeah, yeah. So, the quick Hydra Den is kind of a funny play. If they're going really quick mech, some of these like 2-hatch lurker builds, they're like basically the dumbest thing in the whole world, but sometimes they just don't have the detection. They're like sitting there making Goliaths or something. The wall is always free. Like
Right.
As Terran, you look at it, it's like, well, no, you can't do anything. You have to lift off the racks and float back and have bunkers behind it. So we'll see how that goes. It is going to be a mech build here from JYJ. I think considering what he's against, I mean, it could work out fine.
This is pretty sneaky here from Soma. It's important he gets these lings in the way. He doesn't...
Yes.
Like,
It's actually really...
So much of this is just about blocking. Oh, by the way, an update, Modesty 1. Wait,
You won against Calm 3-0.
Calm 3-0. Okay.
Wow.
Very good to know.
Yeah, so Modesty
expect
makes
that.
it back into KSL, no Calm.
Now, by the way, a Vulture comes up here. Lings can't body block that. This is going to make it almost impossible to disguise the Lurker tech, especially if you see Lurkers running up the high ground. Now, is there enough time to respond?
Yeah. So what you need to do here is grab an engineering bay. Oh, he already has one. So you're going to have to throw down... realistically, you should make 2 turrets. You should stifle them. Like, make one up at the front.
One further back?
Yeah, because... You know this. You're a Protoss player. You'll dive on a turret that you see up front if you go on DTs.
Yeah, there's actually...
Yeah,
it's
there
really
it is.
smart
So
to have one further back here because if you see one close, they can run in there and then realize, oh, I overextended.
In fact, he's making 3 turrets. So he's like, yeah, I'm not dying to this.
Terran
no
might
way.
just not die
Yeah.
at all.
Well,
Like,
he's
this
getting
is-
siege mode. When that's finished, it's over.
Yeah. And then Zerg has this bunk tech that doesn't get him anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of this simply comes down to that Vulture Scout. Anytime, I love how he hasn't finished that turret, by the way.
If Hydras come and hit the bunkers, he'll cancel it.
Yeah,
and
because
it's-
he's not sure if it's a Hydra bust or a Lurker bust.
Yeah. The thing is, he thinks it's Lurker, but it's like, well,
Okay, so this is probably going to be a build order loss. Look at that. It's just barely out of range of everything.
So since there was no dive, he can cancel that second turret. He's in a really good shape right now.
Oh, I thought for a second when the turret was canceled, I thought that was the bunker. I'm like, what? Can you salvage this game? I didn't know about that.
That would be amazing,
Missed
wouldn't
that
it?
patch.
If I could sell my defensive structure stasis.
Oh, imagine that. You hold off all the mutas and kill them, and just all your turrets disappear, and
That would
barracks
be
come down.
so good. Maybe we do need a patch.
Okay, now with this scan, these lurkers are simply put unable to stay in this location. In fact, you shouldn't even burrow that there. That's going to get
Beautiful.
killed too. What?
Crazy that he's
What?
saying that. It's so funny. Okay. Well, he's thrown down a spire behind this. And he's taking that 12 o'clock base. Now, this is why I don't like mech on this map, is because that 12 o'clock base, the odds of that being attacked at any time Like, the game will likely end one way or another, and that base will still be there. You know?
Right, right.
It's just very hard. You can't really go, like, drop ships with mech. It does. It's the gas isn't there. It's not what you want your starport making. It's just mech units coming out of drop ships are not that strong against Zerg. Anyways, the switch into mutas, I think is reasonable. Mutas actually can fight Goliaths. It's like a weird thing to say because a lot of times people consider, you know, Goliaths to be a great counter against like a 2-hatch Mutalist play, but it has to do with numbers and kind of the tempo of the game and stuff.
Yeah, it's a kind of a funny thing where it seems you would think that it's not. It wouldn't work that way, but absolutely, if you're both going at the same rate, you can kind of match each other.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you actually kind of need splash against Mutalisks. So,
yeah, that's why one of the initial responses to mass, or I guess not mass muta, just the initial muta was to get irradiate.
yeah, yeah. Irradiate counters mutas. Goliaths, like, they fight against mutas. It's a real fight.
And a lot of times in this Goliath versus muta arms race, what you'll see is 1 or 2 tanks get put into the mix, and they can basically artillery down the natural base, and you push in with the Goliaths. And if they weren't able to keep up with mutas, they just die.
Yeah. Now, I wonder how Soma is going to approach this. Because if he only masses mutas and JYJ tries to kill him with a 5-fact, which is what he's on right now, I can see Soma taking that. But if JYJ slows the game slightly and gets into some splash damage, like, for instance, this could be a close battle coming up. The 5-factory Goliath pump against, you know, what's going to be 4-hatch muta. But if you add 1 irradiate into that, for instance, suddenly it turns on its head and the Terran wrecks.
We should also point out there's only one spot you can push as Terran here.
Yeah.
And that's the natural. And both players know that. It's no secret. Again, we're on blockchain. 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock are inaccessible by ground, unless you were to destroy the eggs, and by then you've already bought enough time. Notice the way the Sun colonies are spread so that you'll have to siege and unsiege to really break this down.
Also notice the mutas are swinging around the army. They're trying to stop reinforcements because he's going to get one real shot at killing this. He needs to stop reinforcements from reaching this. Notice also that JYJ is making a turret. Really, really important. Okay, his Lurker just hit some reinforcing Goliaths. His mutas need to get in there and clean those really quick. Okay, he gets in there. Really nicely done. Stops 3 of them from coming in.
Excellent
Minimal
usage of
cost.
that Lurker. That's the one that survived that attack earlier on.
Yep.
Whoa, he's so close to being in range of that.
Yeah, I can't even believe that's not shooting.
That's, yeah. Sometimes it looks like the Sun should shoot, and it just doesn't. Okay, this is...
Yeah, the turrets are actually helping immensely here.
So wait, Terran wins this, right?
I think...
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay.
Okay, that should just be game.
Yeah.
This is a very straightforward TVZ here. Terran went for the Goliath play. Zerg was not able to get mutas. A lot of this comes down to that build earlier on. The failed Lurker bust. It did not work.
Yeah, it really... it massively comes down to the failed Lurker bust. If you go 2-hatch Lurker, it's an all-in.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked about this before. There's a lot of builds that can transition. 2-hatch muta, 3-hatch muta, 3-hatch Lurker. All of these are openers where you can play a longer game. 2-hatch Lurker, you are basically relying on those Lurkers doing damage.
Yeah. And I think the only person we've ever seen really make this work post a failed rush like that is someone like Sulky. But it's so hard because the situation is actually very simple. You're both stuck racing towards this one unit. Either one can beat each other, but Zerg has such a bad start. Terran held off that rush with the Goliaths and the few tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Zerg was super late to the table getting any Mutalisks out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
he
not much you can do.
Put so much into it and then just didn't do anything. I'm actually, to be frank, a bit surprised that during a qualifier best of 5 against JYJ, someone's decided to play that strategy.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary, and it's almost... I mean, considering how good Soma is at this matchup, to put any risk at all in this?
We have to give him minimum top 3 world ZVT. No one would argue with that assessment, at least. JYJ, no one would say that about. So the fact that he's using kind of a risky strat, like this is a strat that, I think it's a good best of 5 strat. For a qualifier, I'm not as certain, right? It's like you're playing this kind of long day of StarCraft. You're going through all these opponents. You're against someone that you should have a slight edge against on a map that I think is slightly Zerg favored. Why
Yeah.
not play a more normal strategy? Because
But-
like if you get the free win, it's like, wow, genius, that's
But
brilliant.
there is this degree of brilliance in doing a strategy like that because it's going to be so unexpected, and it could blindside him. You
Yeah.
could win the game, but here we are, and he's
Here we
now
are.
down 1-2.
He's got to win these next two, or JYJ moves on. Okay, so Overwatch is map number 4 here. This map is Terran favored. You know, the thing is, okay, so Zerg basically has to go 2-hatch here
Yeah.
at the pro level because the third base is actually a pain in the butt for Zerg if they don't. Now you can, when you go 2-hatch Muta, you can just take a third, whereas if you go 3-hatch anything, you actually have to defend the third. There's more play from Terran.
Right.
So yeah, we should be seeing 2-hatch, which is good for Soma anyways. That's what he likes. As far as JYJ's build, like it's a great map for the Goliath build. It's fine for 1-on-1. It's good just for regular barracks play. He really has a wide range of what he can choose to do.
This is got to be a little bit scary here for Soma. I think with straight up play, you can win this. This is a map with limited expansions. There's not a lot of bases either side can really take. So things are, I think, oftentimes decided in the mid game. You got to see how that goes. Can Zerg get that third up? If they do, how does Terran handle it? And this should lead us to a pretty standard TVZ, I'd say.
It definitely could be. But, you know, once Terran's on the map, it gets pretty hard for Zerg to take additional bases here.
It seems like the ideal base for the third for Zerg is 12. Like, let's say in this position, is 12 o'clock viable? Is the upper right viable and the center left? Is that the 3 bases that we can talk about?
The 3 bases we can talk about are 12, top right, and bottom left.
Oh, really? Center left, center left is a no-go?
Bottom left is takeable for Zerg.
And is that because of the, especially in upper right and bottom left, because there's just one ramp
Yes.
there, you can get control of that, put lurkers up on the high ground.
Exactly. Even Sunken's there if you're going for a mass Mutalisk strategy. Just like 2-3 Sunks plus your Mutalisk and Lings, Bio can't really break it. So all 3 of those locations are fine. If you open up with a more passive strategy, like a 3 hatchery strategy, you're more likely to take 12. Otherwise, those 3 are all reasonable. Obviously, slightly more danger if you take bottom left or something.
Right. But that can work out nicely. It's much harder for Terran to get their third up when that moment finally comes, if they're trying to expand to 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So the one thing I don't want to see from Soma here is him do anything cheesy.
Yeah.
That would be really alarming.
Yeah. I think aggressive pressure play is fine, but if he goes like 2-hatch lurker, then I just give a big shrug. People can talk about T-Soggy all day. You choose strats like that, yeah, okay.
Well, that's when you almost don't have a right to be mad if you...
No, you're going to do things like 2-hatch. You know, it's like, yeah, you're going to center 8 racks all day and lose and complain about it? No.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a 312 layer. It's a little bit later than some of the builds that he uses.
Damn, not a single shot on that Overlord. So we've got a 1-1-1 build so far.
Yeah, either Goliath or 1-on-1. It's hard to tell.
Seems like the Goliath build would be quite strong on this map,
It's really good here.
you know?
What's interesting, I guess, is that he did not wall. Maybe because of the game on blockchain, he's decided to forego the wall. As a Hydra bust can be very good against that.
Oh, I see.
But
I guess after that game, you know he's not going to 5-pool.
yeah. That's pretty fair. And also, the other thing that walls are good against, though, and by the way, he saw the timing of the command center, so he knows it's factory before command. So he's doing a nice SimCity. I think he maybe scouted the gas anyways, but it's a good poke in to see it's not one base. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the wall actually is good against speedling floods, which can be good against 1-on-1. Oh my god, a Hydralist Den, what are we doing?
Oh, really?
That better be fake. Well, you can go Hydralist Den just to make like 2 Hydras to poke.
I hope that's what we have here.
Yeah, because the Wraith coming out,
Well,
if you don't, it'll kill like 3
Here's a
Overlords.
question. I mean, is there any merit into getting mass Hydra with speed and Overlord speed?
No.
Is that a thing
it's
at
bad.
all?
People will do it sometimes, but it's pretty bad. But I don't see a Spire, man.
Yeah, normally the Spire is planted immediately as the layer finishes.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what you're teching to. Everything else is sort of peripheral here. But I think this might be a Hydra Lurker or a Hydra with speed.
It could be. It could just be another Lurker play. The Lurker play looks worse. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what his choice will be here.
Okay,
but
so
there's a Wraith, so it's not like he can hide it.
Right. The Wraith can operate like the first Corsair in a PvZ here.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more and more Hydras, man.
I mean, the Hydra busts are so bad, though. All you have to do is have a bunker and have enough SCVs at it.
Yeah, I think this build might be pretty garb, man. This is a city be called Garbtopolis. This is just not good, right? Well, let's see if he gets the bunker down here. Now, it's 2 Hydras. You go,
Yeah, you see 2
Hydras
Hydras right now.
Strange.
Gas, is that gas a little bit late for Muta?
That gas is late for Muta.
Let's fly it up to the main, though. Are you going to go to the main? Oh, did he lay some mines around? That's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice. He's got 1 bunker up.
Yeah, Hydras are so bad against bunkers.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they deal damage to bunkers quickly because they have explosive damage, which does full to buildings. But it takes 12 Hydra shots to kill an SCV. And there's nothing funnier than that. And you're right, it is Speed Hydra.
I don't
Got
know what
those
to
bad
say.
builds down, Tasteless.
That's right, man.
Those bad CVT builds. You know all about them.
My bag of bad builds here.
Yeah, bag of bad builds. You're like the bad version of Shine.
Yeah.
You're also bad at observing. So you are the opposite of him.
That's right. I'm his complete and total opposite.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's been too much time that's passed here.
Yes.
He sees, a Hydra's of speed running around. There's mines planted here. There's going to be a base taken down to the bottom left. But, I mean, maybe he'll try to get dropped from here and do damage that way. I don't know, but I'm not feeling this right now.
I wouldn't be too surprised with the drop, but he was throwing down the Queen's Nest. So, I mean, are you going to get Hive or are you going to get dropped? He's kind of sneaking bottom left. Again, it's a somewhat reasonable expansion. With this strategy, it's definitely different than what I was talking about specifically before. Start the Hive. Oh my God!
Oh, my eyes! My eyes!
And he sees the Hive.
Yeah.
So this is...
This Zerg player is so salty right now. This is the worst day of his life.
Yeah, it's sad because everyone that watches a ton of StarCraft and keeps track of these things knows that Soma's really strong.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of almost a frustrating thing. He underperformed in ASL, I guess you could say. And here he is. He won the ACS, which is kind of a big deal.
It seems like he's not electing for the right builds, though, to be honest.
Yeah, you're going two hatch Speed Hydra on Overwatch. I'm like, well, is he that afraid of JYJ?
I've had periods in my career where I was too obsessed with trying to pull off these fancy builds that were stupid instead of just doing a good macro opener that I could have done just fine.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Soma has a little bit of that issue here as well. He's not choosing the right builds for the right moments against the right players.
Well, right now this is massively favoring JYJ. Look at that. Okay, so he's getting the Defiler Mound now and the Spire now. He's got to get the Defiler Mound to finish and get Consume and then hold this off. But we are going to have 6 Irradiates before he has Consume, and we have 3 tanks with Siege mode.
Right.
Is it enough? Yes, it's enough.
Nidus, come in here.
Now, the only way I can see him holding this is a perfect flank with everything he has, because the Bioforce here is very small. That is the only weakness of this Terran army. But he's reinforcing from the main now. Look at this. See that group of Marines that just came up? You see what they're holding?
I see it.
They're holding a little tombstone. It says "Rip Soma." Because now it feels like he has enough bile that the flank, I don't think.
Is Terran being too slow with this?
He's being real careful, man. He's so sure he's won this game.
Yeah.
He's being real careful.
When you see your opponent do something really weird and you're at this level of play, if you just follow the normal trajectory, cross all your T's, dot all your I's, you're going to have a push that they can't stop. By the way, more results coming in here. It looks like...
Sharp Beat Force
Yes.
3-2, it looks like. Wow. So that was really close. Damn, I would have liked to see that.
Instead, you're going to watch Soma do these builds.
Yeah. Well, in name, you give me all the matchups that we could have possibly had here. This looks like the best one. Now that's a beautiful move right there. Slow this down, force a siege.
There's no hold position lurkers in between this for reinforcements. He's going to get in this area over here. And it's just Lings to try to defend. I don't see that Defiler. Do you? Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Upper left.
Consume is done. Is it enough?
Well, he'll irradiate this and then just run out of the swarm. He'll actually just run into the natural. He doesn't care.
Oh, he's in front of the Dark Swarm. Okay, but a couple lurkers burrow. Let's see if he can clear this up. Now, bottom left is about to be hit as well. If Soma holds this,
well,
if Soma holds this,
oh my God, he's got to get that Nidus! Soma holds this.
Hold on now. Hold on now. Chills. I need to see the production facilities for JYJ. I think he's on 5 racks, 2 port.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, if he's on 5 racks, 2 port, he's still fine. But just, you know, you asked, was he going too slow? I think that the question has been answered.
By the way, I do have to say, in ZVT, there's a very specific moment that you're waiting to have happen, and that's when the first Dark Swarm is cast.
Yeah.
After that, you're in a completely different game, because Dark Swarm changes the entire dynamic of how the two races can interact with each other. Now, can he get up here? Do we have anything coming out of that Nidus?
Dude, I see these little moves Soma's making. They're so awesome.
Oh, he's trying to remake the other end of the Nidus tunnel.
Dude, yeah, and he just, like, he morphed that egg right before the Hydra died. Like, he's got really well-placed everything. He just killed 2 vessels. He's just killed a 3rd vessel. Holy God, is Soma going to win this?
He might. I can't believe he might actually pull this off, but it seems like it. Especially if someone can come down and deny 3 o'clock. Now, 1 Ultraless Cavern, normally you want 4 gases to comfortably support Ultras. So on 3, every Ultra becomes pretty precious. You don't want to overextend with Ultras ever.
But he's got +2 carapace. Chills, again, chills. The fact that he has +2 carapace right now somehow, that's awesome. Because I bet you it's +1 Marines. Oh, it's +2 Marines. Look at you, JYJ, keeping up.
Okay, a lot of SCV kills here on this naked expansion. I love the Fire Bats incorporated into this to make it more engageable when Lings are actually there.
Yeah, that is important, but of course they lose some value against Ultras.
Right.
As they don't really do damage to them. Now, if he already has Plague as well, I bet you he has Plague. That's when you know you're against a good Zerg. They have Plague like a minute before you think they're going to.
Yeah.
The Plague hits, you're like, I'm not ready for this.
Plague is so hilarious when it hits Terran and Protoss units because there's like nothing they can do. It depletes all the medic energy.
Yeah, it's EMP on my medics as well. I'm like, wow, that did a lot of things.
Yeah.
This
is one of those abilities, if this was a modern game, they probably would have taken out, but because it's here and it turns out it's still balanced because people are so good at this game, it's pretty awesome. Fire Bats in a bunker.
No, that's awesome. That's a great way to do it. Okay, so JYJ is starting to try to get aggressive, but I guess he gets to cancel that. That's nice.
Zerg can stay on 3 bases for a long time, though.
It is true, and that's what you need to do as Terran if you're going to win this game. Like, you need to prevent them from having a 4th.
Right.
The 4th is where Zerg explodes. 3 is where they're just playing the game.
Again, every Ultra is so important here, but you know, when you have 4 carapace, look at the little damage this thing is taking.
Yeah, look at that. 3.
Practically healing faster than it is taking damage from 1 Marine.
Almost.
Yeah, this is one way to do it. If you see too many Scourge bunched up, 1 quick irradiate can actually take them out.
Yeah. And it's better to irradiate Scourge than lose a vessel, that's for sure.
Also, D-Matrix cast with vessels cast D-Matrix on each other is another good way to handle it. What are the exact properties of D-Matrix, by the way?
I believe it absorbs like 300 damage, but not like you take like a little time. So if you dematrix something that's 1 health, it'll still die.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, because it takes just little tiny bits to get through, but yeah, I believe it absorbs 300 damage, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay, comes in here and attacks. And this is kind of funny because it's 1 Ultralisk. Oh, the bunker play is so good.
You see this? 1 Ultra.
Yeah.
2 Ultras.
This needs to be a cutscene in the game.
Tasteless, did you say that every Ultra is precious? You better believe it.
Yeah.
This one guy holding down the fort.
So you gonna go for drop play here?
No, I don't think that's what that is. I think that he's just... I don't know why those are there.
He just wants to lose the Overlords?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if this was a wise move here by Soma.
I like it, actually. I think that this is good because he's got his 5 carapace now. Oh, 3-1. Damn, JIJ, you're so good. But look, he's like slowing this down a little bit, and that's all he needs to do while he gets his 4th up.
I stand corrected. I actually think this was much better than I initially thought it was. One thing you gotta be careful about when you're Terran is if these Ultras get irradiated, they just run right up to your Marines. Suddenly they're all taking damage too. It's pretty hilarious.
It's the age-old question, is irradiate a buff for Ultralisks?
And you can see he seems to just barely have enough. In fact, this might be the tipping point here.
Yeah. JYJ actually
Chichi
doesn't have anything left. That is crazy that Soma was able to win this game. That is crazy, because I was talking already about how he's dead and JYJ is in KSL. And the thing is, I was right until JYJ did not just go kill him. He really did take a long time moving up the map, like you mentioned. Like, is he taking too long?
I think he was too slow. I think if he got set up there, did the damage at the natural. If you destroy the natural, you're fine.
Yeah, you win.
There's this moment where the first Defiler comes out, consumes really close. If you can consume the 1 Zergling or even a larva, and you get that first Dark Swarm, suddenly you're in a completely different game. The matchup is completely changed in the way everything's operating. If you can get in there with the Marines and shoot down the Defiler, or maybe get an irradiate on it before Dark Swarm is done, sometimes you'll see games where it gets irradiated, they just get consumed, eat 1 Ling, and cast a Dark Swarm, and Zerg still survives. But had he pushed a little bit more seriously and not, I think, juked and jived around something that there really was no counterattack that was going to happen there, I think he would have actually come in there and won.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. It wasn't just failing the attack of the natural.
Yeah.
When he attacked bottom left, it was a very sloppy attack. It wasn't concentrated. He lost like 4 vessels attacking it as well. So JYJ, it feels like a bit of a throw. A heroic save there from Soma. I guess he slowed him down just enough.
Going to game 5, boys and girls.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. It's one of my favorite songs, StarCraft 1 playing.
Fighting Spirit. Yeah, it's a good
Zerg song.
I like all of them. All the songs.
Minerals, attack, and defilers. 11 Udas and 1 Overlord and a control crew. We're Zerg, we're bad, and we know it.
That's good stuff. Alright, so these spots are good for JYJ. His natural is hard to harass for Soma. His 3rd base is on the way to the natural of Soma, which, if a Terran player really wanted to tell me they were uncomfortable with that, I would take it. But, you know, if you're keeping pressure on your opponent, you're also defending your 3rd. So that can be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Soma's 3rd will be the bottom right main, without any doubt. Unless it's a crazy Mutalisk play, which in these spots I don't think he'll do.
So this, especially in this matchup, is about as if this map on this matchup was a flavor, it would be vanilla. I mean, it's very straightforward. We've seen a million games on this map already.
Yeah.
But let's see if they mix it up, if they spice it up at all. I think by today's standards, if you're going to learn StarCraft on a map, you're probably supposed to start with Fighting Spirit.
Fighting Spirit or Circuit Breakers are the 2 big macro maps.
I actually would lean a little bit more towards Fighting Spirit.
Why is that? Is this a Protoss map?
No, I think because it allows you to at least see it in a game on a tighter map. Circuit Breakers is so big, it could be misleading. At least on this map, you can rush each other in some matchups. Circuit Breakers, you usually can't.
It's also, it gets you acquainted with certain areas being very difficult to move through.
You think this is a Protoss map, really? What about PvZ?
Well, I don't care about PvC, but it's definitely a Protoss map against Terran.
What makes it a Protoss map against Terran so much? Just that you pretty much only get 3 bases or 4 bases?
Taking a 4th base as Terran is almost impossible,
Okay.
and the 3rd base is almost impossible to take if Protoss decides to make a shuttle and Dragoons, which they generally do.
Yeah.
And also, you cannot protect the 3rd base from recalls. Like, a recall just wrecks it. Like, just they're very gross the way they're laid out. Like, you can't fit the turrets well, you can't fit mines well.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess there isn't very much room up there.
And also, those bases for Protoss, if you put like 2 photon cannons at those high ground thirds, it takes like a maxed out army in 10 scans to kill it.
Oh, well, cannons are very funny in late game PvT because cannons are not that good unless it's, you know, to fight vulture drops. But late game, if you have a few cannons on a ramp,
yeah,
it's so hard for Terran to push up.
can't break it, and the amount of scans you have to use,
yeah.
It's like actually, it's a laugh. It's really funny, in a really sad and pathetic way. So, yeah, those reasons, and then a few more are why it's a Protoss map.
Artistically, Terran looks like a very sad clown playing the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
Feels like a sad clown, too.
Frowny face, makeup all over his face.
Yeah.
Long, flat shoes. So this is going to be 2-hatch Muta.
Yeah, nice, quick. This is kind of a weird build. Okay, so, it was like a before 4 minutes academy, but this is all of 1 barracks. So I think JYJ is actually maybe going to try to do a really quick stim rush or something.
Look at this Zerg. My heart rate's increasing right now watching these links. So good with these.
Yeah.
But Terran handled it perfectly, yeah.
Yeah, his building placement is really phenomenal as well.
Yeah,
that's really clean right there.
I love when you see people that have their building placement so mapped out.
There's nothing as sad as when you don't have that done.
And there's nothing as sad as a player who's not used to playing against people who have perfect building placement. They're used to just sort of winning because they rush a lot and then just completely getting shut down. The best is if you have a good wall in this Terran or Protoss against Zerg and they're trying to attack you in every which way, and then it doesn't work and they leave. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You go, all right.
Yeah.
Move me up in my rank.
This, by the way, is such a peculiar build from JYJ. Normally when you get the very fast academy, you're doing it with 2 barracks so that you can put a little bit of pressure on your opponent. But he's done it quickly with 1 and gotten... It's actually a well-timed eBay overall, maybe just slightly quicker than what he needs for turret timings.
Does Zerg ever get a quick upgrade when they do the 2-hatch Muta? Do they get attack or anything like that?
Sometimes, yeah. They can get either one, attack or carapace.
What is the rationale for each one?
Well, I would say that if you're rushing up to... If you're just going to go pure damage mutas, like, I think that's when you're going to do nothing but make mutas the whole game.
Yeah.
And I think if you're rushing up to Guardians, you generally want the +1 carapace. In my opinion, I don't actually know 100% as I'm not a Zerg player, and all of them kind of have their own flair with that, but that seems to be it, because then the Guardians are sitting here with like 3 carapace and try to kill that crap with Valkyries. Yeah, good luck.
Very well placed defense right now. Zerg not making a scratch on a Terran. Really good control of the Marines. A lot of times you fish the Marines out and then you pop them off, especially because Marines, as you stem an attack, they organically form a line. It's ideal for Muta snipes. Yeah. If you have enough Mutas, you'll kill not 1 but 2 Marines in 1 shot.
Yeah, that's very true.
Pretty crazy.
All right, so some good harassment here. The turret placement is basically perfect from JYJ, so he shouldn't be taking too much damage. We'll see how much Soma actually wants to commit to this. Now, JYJ's a little move-out timing here. He's basically saying, come fight my Marines, not my economy. Just by having them postured even that far forward, you got to be careful as Zerg.
Yeah, especially because this travel distance is not long.
No, it's not.
Unlike circuit breakers, for instance. So if you're not totally ready, you're going to have a problem. Now, Ling Muta versus Marine Medic, there's no clear favorite.
Yes.
It just depends on who has more and what kind of surrounds you get and how you target.
Yeah, some micro and stuff like that, how the engage goes. But this particular move by JYJ is just to make the Mutas come out and fight.
Right.
He's going to have to reinforce or go home really soon here.
Yeah, we've seen Terrans that stay in the middle of the map a little bit too long, and then, you know, maybe even if it's just 8 Lings with this army, suddenly you surrounded.
Yeah.
And Lings immune to steal damage so fast. And see that? He's looking for stray Marines like that. And I don't think these Marines can actually get back home.
No, right now they cannot get back home, but he's coming up with another force, so what he'll probably do is stim those forward and then go meet him. Yeah, there they come. Beautifully done. That was a good reinforce. That was like, I was on the edge of my seat for that, because that almost didn't happen. Soma was very close to pulling the trigger and killing the rest of those units. But JYJ is reinforced. He's out on the map. You notice how these mutas are just really busy out here. They can't really harass because they have to go after these. You have to dog the Marine Medic, because you'd be surprised how many Sunkens something like that can kill. And if you're just sitting around making Sunkens all day, that's not good either.
Right. He hasn't sent the next wave of reinforcements here. We did have a Hive coming as well as a Hydra Den. Great targeting. Can he get that one medic? Also, these medics I think are actually depleted.
Yeah, they are.
So you might want to bait out one more stim and then just go for it.
Yeah, he's going to clear this. It doesn't look like JYJ is even going to reinforce at this point. But he's gotten his tech up during this. He's building 2 star points right now, which is fantastic.
Terran might want to try to target down one last muta in the fight.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Just get whatever you can out of them. They've even got +1 now. The Lings come down, so that's going to be that.
Damn. You just see that
This
army get massacred.
This is a beautiful game that we're watching right now.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So he's going to tech straight into Guardians, right?
I don't think so.
What is
normally if you're
Hive?
gonna go Hydra Guardian, you generally want a 3rd gas with that. I believe what he's going to do is do a Lurker contain into a Defiler push real quick.
Oh, so just super speedy Defilers.
Yeah, notice he's cleared those Marines. Now he's coming back with the mutas. The Marines will mirror these for a little bit in the main base, and he wants to get Lurkers in position so that the Marines are not on the map. But JYJ is keen on this. We've heard some scans. That's most likely just on tech he's been looking, because he needs to know where to stand with Marines. Because if you get contained right here, you won't have enough radiates to stop everything.
Once we get to Defiler tech, one of the easiest ways to simply conclude a Terran is about to lose the game is when Dark Swarm gets into the natural.
Yeah, exactly.
So much of the game is the Zerg trying to fight to get Dark Swarm up into the natural, while the Terran is trying to come out on different expansions on the map. And take out different locations. Now he's coming forward with these Lurkers. He's a great Lurker bro.
Yeah, this was really nice. Look at that. He's actually going to clear everything there and get the contain up.
Is the bunker empty? The bunker is empty.
Well, I don't know if this was a good move.
Oh, this is a great move.
You like it?
Yeah, look at this.
Does he really have nothing else?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It was great.
Stick a fork in this nerd.
Whoa!
He is done. Oh!
Damn, Soma. So sick. And now all he needs to do is get a Defiler up here.
Look at these balls. Lurkers, excuse me. I'm going to shuffle these back. Probably a good idea to get rid of the scanner here. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Defiler coming up, that is generally the nail in the coffin.
So good play, such wow. He's going to get, he has consume, right?
He will in just a second.
Going to try to get the scanner.
I think he doesn't really care what he hits right now because there's not enough units here to stop this. Realistically, I think...
Uh-oh, hold on. Oh, never mind.
My god. Well, he's got 2 fire bats. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
he messed this up.
He overreached slightly there. The siege tanks in siege mode added a bit of splash, and then the fire bats. If JYJ is going to win this, he needs to get in front of this stuff. He needs to stop reinforcements. By the way, this Valkyrie is going to do so much damage.
Going for the tank on the high ground.
It won't fire! Why are you just sitting there looking at the mutas? Okay, so this is becoming a really
oh my god,
game.
it's so low! Oh.
This is becoming so scrappy right now. Look at these, he's killing
Watching this
overlords.
Valkyrie not fire, it's like watching someone who thinks they're about to sneeze and it just never happens.
Yeah, it's very much what it is.
Look how stupid these missiles are.
It's such a
somewhere around you. He might as well send those mutas back, have them consumed for energy here. For Dark Swarm.
Really. God. Okay, this was a great move. I was going to mention this as he was trying to break out. Sometimes against these low econ strats, you can make a giant group of fire bats, and if you spread them like you're trying to pretend you're Slayer's Boxer, they actually kill Lurkers. Because the Lurker spines kind of go everywhere because they're melee units, so they're right on top of everything. Or they're basically melee units.
Yeah, they're basically. How dare you?
Did it have a range? Yeah, about probe range.
You think they're melee or toast as a camp? How much smarter I am than you.
All right. Act 2. Go.
Well, if he flanks this with... Okay, yeah, he's got fire bat.
There's way too many
buffer.
fire bats. This is where, lurkers. The fire bats aren't going to do anything.
If he hits it from 2 sides, he can still break that.
They're not going to do diddly. Oh my god, he doesn't have anything back here. Oh no, he's all right.
Yeah. I think he is all right. Oh my god, this is crazy. That's it. That's it. That was too wasteful. Oh my god, I can't even believe that Soma has pulled this out of thin air, this victory. Like this
willed
series. This series, it's like that Overwatch game he was dead on, and this one was like he was very close to dead on. I tell you what, man, this is the type of Zerg that has only ever bought 1 bottle of shampoo and just keeps adding water to it. You know? He never runs out.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, don't worry, I still got shampoo. I'm like, your hair does smell good. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You bought that bottle of shampoo years ago.
I don't know how he does it.
It's crazy.
He squeezes the toothpaste tube a little bit more each day.
Yeah.
There's always some in there.
It's become one-dimensional, but it still gives him toothpaste.
I'm trying to throw it out, and he goes, wait. And he rolls it up.
Yeah. It's not done yet.
It's not done yet. There's still
Like,
a little bit in there.
Soma, why are you like my mom?
We're doing fine. Let me just get a new thing at Costco.
Oh my god.
Terran's so sad.
It's so hard.
The funny thing is Soma's on 2 base, so like, yeah, guess what? Those are actually not melee units, even though they're the less range in the game.
I love how much SCVs have to slow down before they fight a lurker. Like they're trying to get a horse to slow down. Like, whoa there.
Yeah. Dude, that's it. Craziness.
They're weak to fire. Quickly. Oh. Uh-oh. All right, Terran, let's stay in the game a little bit longer. What are we doing here?
Well, this is a sad moment. I think JYJ was on the brink of winning this series so many times. And the thing is, you really don't want to leave this game because Soma has no economy.
Yeah.
I bet you Soma has like 20 drones. And that's it. So right now he's like, oh, I need 1 good engage and I can still fight, but it's not.
Too late, man. He's on production.
He's on production and minerals.
All right.
The Valkyrie
well,
counterattack.
Yeah, maybe if I supply block him. GG.
Wow. I can't believe that
That
Soma won this
was
series.
quite a game.
I wrote him off so many times.
That was quite a game. I really enjoyed that.
That was quite a series.
Yeah. These builds he's picking, he's such a scrappy player. So that means someone moves on.
Okay, so we have 3 results. Sharp wins his group 3-2 over Force.
Okay.
Soma wins 3-2 over JYJ. And Modesty wins 3-0 over Com. So those
Okay.
are the results that we have in so far here.
And coming up here, we're going to be going to a break. I think it's going to be the lunch break here for
Might be.
us and staff. I see our lunch is over there.
Yeah, the
So-
other finals, by the way, for the groups this morning, Mind versus Shine,
Mhm.
Light versus Baxter, 4GG versus Oregon.
And I think we're going to be doing one of those when we come back, I think.
I don't know.
I'm
maybe.
not sure.
I'd
It's
love
also
to see some
possible
of
we'll
those.
just jump right into the next group.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
next
sure.
group, sorry, the other half of the tournament. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to go to a commercial. When we come back, we continue on here with the KSL. Do not go away. Oh, sorry. We're not going to go to a commercial just yet.
No commercial.
Um,
But yeah, it's great to see Soma get in. Sad to see JYJ not make it because he's
Yeah.
one of those Terrans of the future that, you know, in like five years or something, we're going to be like, yep, JYJ is in the top 4 again.
Yeah.
But yeah, Soma he's one of the Zergs of the present where I'm like, okay, right now it's Queen and Soma that I think everyone's looking towards, as these are the guys that if you're going to get a Zerg championship, it's going to be one of them.
and I think Action just recently was one of the players that finally cemented himself as a top-tier player. Oh,
Yeah, true.
all right. Now we're going to go to a commercial. We'll be back, guys. Don't go away. KSL. We're going to now go to Mind versus Shine for our next match.
Yeah.
This I am very excited about.
Yeah, you think Shine's going to take it. I think Mind's
so.
going to take it. I think that it is going to be a good match either way between these two. They're both kind of cognitive players overall, I guess. Shine being more sneaky and cheesy. Mind being definitely more standard.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a very nice match. I'm excited.
Excuse me.
And of course, the winner here, it is best of 5. The winner goes into KSL.
That's right. A lot on the line here. It's going to be weird to not have one of these players here. Shine, with some very surprising results in a previous ASL, actually getting to the finals against Flash. Upset after upset after upset. I think he's proven that besides Flash, he can basically beat anybody with the weird style he has. He has a lot of cheesy builds.
Yeah. He's very creative. Has a lot of different plays, like you say. Mind, of course, was top 2 to 3 Terran for many years.
Yep.
And that back in time, forward in time, all over the place. He kind of took a little break from playing tournaments recently, so we haven't seen him in a bit, but he's back up at the top of the ladder again. So that should be...
So here's some other results we've already had. We see Sharp now defeats Force. Sharp will be advancing into the KSL. Soma, which we just recently casted. He did manage to beat JYJ in what was a really fun series. Definitely the highlight of the day so far for me.
Yeah. And that was 3-2. And by the way, Sharp was 3-2 over Force. So that's very impressive by Force that pushed Sharp that hard. But like I mentioned before, that's kind of his weak matchup. So
sure.
But yeah, it seems like we have some very close matches for these qualifying ones. Okay, so that's Group B. Group C is, of course, the one that we are about to go into. And that'll be Mind versus Shine. They being good in there. Tinkle died.
And I believe this is going to be a replay that we're casting this from. So we don't know the results yet, but they're going to be loading it up.
And yeah, obviously we already discovered. Oh, look at that. Mind wins. We just want to ruin that for you guys.
I don't know
right
why we
before
just showed that on camera, but okay.
Yeah, that's nice. All right.
I can't believe they just... All right. So Light versus Baxter. It looks like Light moves on.
Okay, cool. That's great to have Light in the tournament. He missed last season, of course, trying to play Protoss to get there. But yeah, not a giant surprise that he gets through. He's a player that has never won a championship, but is of the level where you could.
Yeah, I think Light is the least surprising result of the day so far. We really expected him to get out. He's such a good player. 4GG does defeat Oregon, so we finally got to see the results on that.
Well, you know what? Congrats to 4GG. He plays his own style, and he trains and practices more than, like, anyone for the pros.
Right.
So it's nice to see him get through.
Yeah. He's been grinding really hard, so congrats to him. My boy Mo Clan did go down against Oregon. We finally got to see the results of that.
Yeah.
We'll see you next KSL, Mo Clan.
Yeah, we will see you, Mo Clan. It's a good try. Then Modesty over Calm over there. So Modesty makes another KSL. Good for him. So yeah, I guess we have that first half of the day done. Kind of.
Kind of. I don't know, guys.
We're still going to cast it, but yeah. So you still think Shine's going to win?
Am I allowed to pull back on my prediction?
Totally. I think you should.
I think something tells me mine's going to take it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. You know what? No, I'm going to switch it up. I think Shine's
going to take it? Okay, I'm going to stay with mine.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about the way he plays.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know how that happened.
Don't know.
I don't know. So I think we're still going to throw that up. Either that or we're going to be going into a different match.
I guarantee you we're going into Shine versus
I think you're probably
Shine
right.
versus Mind. But you know what? I'm excited to see it because I need more TVZ builds.
It's a good day for a Terran player.
Well,
today.
all the
I got lucky
Protosses got so far that they just all got seeded in. If you
I got
play
lucky
Protoss,
with
you're
Jake.
in KSL already.
I had nothing but Protoss games. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was totally sucked into the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of TVZs so far for today.
Yeah. Fun matchup. I want to do it. Let's get into it. Tesa, start
Please.
the replay.
All right, here I go. Ready? It's loading up right now.
Oh, my gosh.
We still got to wait for them to actually put the game on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we're very close to actually jumping into that game. Oop, you know what that sound means. Woo! All right, let's see this game we spoiled. Okay, so at the top spot, we've got Mind over here. In the bottom left, we've got Shine.
Yeah, so Neo Sylphid, I guess we'll just see. I think a lot of this comes down to how Shine wants to open, and obviously there's several openers that Mind can end up doing here. I think he's reasonable at them. So
I guess we could still try to predict the playstyles, right? Shine tends to do crazy stuff. A lot of his games can be ended before even Defiler comes out, but if he does get Defiler, he'll do it in a crazy way.
yeah, he's someone who will do things like Hydro Lurker, do drops, kind of be all over the place with Lings.
Now, Mind is, he was so good. He's still obviously very good, but he was so good at one point in time in StarCraft history. It was such a badass ID too.
When do you think his peak was?
I'd say it was shortly before StarCraft 2 started really hitting.
Yeah,
He was
doing
really
reasonable.
good back then.
You know, he was my most hated player, one of my two most hated players.
You were not a fan of him.
No.
You were an anti-fan. Now, why is that? I feel like you would be on the side of any Terran.
So, no, I'm talking about Shine, not.
Oh, I thought you meant Mind. I was like, what? I was
No.
talking about Mind. Sorry,
no,
go ahead.
Mind was literally my favorite player.
Okay, that's where I was confused.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Shine
so you
was
didn't like Shine, and
yeah.
this was this pre-StarCraft 2 or what?
pre-StarCraft 2. Obviously, I know Shine well, and I like him a lot. Enjoy watching his games now, but there was this period where people got so good at Mutalisk Micro. Like 90% of new Zerg pro gamers were only Mutalisk Micro. That was it, because it covered ZVZ and it covered ZVT completely if you could 2-attribute it. Like, you were really good, you were already really good at 2 matchups, and then ZVP was always easy. So it was like, he was one of those. He was just very, very cheesy all the time. So I was kind of on a crusade against that type of player. That's why I really appreciated Roro when he popped up at a similar time, because he was more of a 3-hatch type of guy.
Yeah.
But then Zero came along. He was kind of a little bit too hatchy, but I liked him. But yeah, he's always been very, very aggressive.
One of the funny things about Shine is that he is the main StarCraft 2 observer for GSL, and I actually think his observing really paid off. It made him a better player. I think having to follow all these different builds all the time, and one thing about observing is you basically have to know the game really, really well. You have to know why they're doing it, what to look for, what are the counters. I think part of his observing in StarCraft 2, because the two games, they do communicate with each other. You can learn something in StarCraft 2 and apply it in StarCraft 1.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
I think this allowed him to have some of the most diverse, crazy openings ever.
It probably does help. That's just something that's true in life, is everything kind of overlaps. Like, you can learn a bunch about anything. You can learn a bunch about MMA or tennis or chess or StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, and then learn about StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2 via that. It's
sure.
These principles all, it's kind of trite, but people are like, oh, the Art of War, you're gonna read that, but it's like, you'll learn things about StarCraft in there.
Yeah, if you read the Art of War, you will learn a thing or two about StarCraft.
Yeah.
But this is what I think built Shine into this cheese god. He had so many builds that could just punish the corresponding build of his opponents.
Yeah. Well, right now, Vulture being made. Aha, okay, so this is the Goliath build. Straight up. Get this Vulture outside the natural to watch for Lings coming in.
I'm really digging this Goliath build. I think it's really smart. I think out of all the builds that Terran can do, this is probably the easiest one to just understand. You just see the momentum coming out.
Yeah.
You can explain to somebody who's never really played StarCraft at all what's happening here.
It's probably the most simple build. Like, for instance, if you want, at some point, because I know sometimes you get interested in learning another race.
Yeah.
If you go to Terran, this is the build I will teach you, Tasteless.
All right.
It is, you just kind of make Goliaths, you know your turret timing, and you know your move out timings.
It seems very...
It's like, yes, now you add the factories.
Easy, but it's very simple.
Yeah. It is simple.
Are there a lot of cheeses that Zerg try to do to kill you before you get there? Or?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you can try to do things like break them. Like, for instance, if you were to do like a Hydra Wing attack against this, if you don't have a bunker, if your Goliaths are out of position, things like that, it can snowball into Zerg's favor if they pick off just a couple of units, you know. You're on just the brink of holding everything for the first little bit, and then you kind of start hitting critical masses where you start walking around and gain some control.
So, on the Zerg side of things, they are, we're going to have a lot of mutas coming out here. Lots and lots and lots of mutalisks. I want to see if he can in any way try to punish the Terran here, if Terran's going to have the defenses up and ready. You want to get armor with this, correct?
Yes. Not everyone will do that, which is funny.
Huh.
But you actually are supposed to start it very, very quickly here.
Okay.
Because it's part of your move-out time. It just makes you much, much stronger.
What do you think of the Den here? Is he going to get some mutas and then try to go right into Hydras and rush?
Yeah. Well, I think it will be mutas into Hydra. Just because, I mean, you don't... Again, mutas can kind of fight Goliaths. But if they, if anything goes wrong, things will go really wrong, and the Goliaths will wreck everything.
Well, one thing about Goliaths is when you get that range, if you make a mistake in a fight, you're going to eat so many Goliath shots. It's so ridiculous what the range is.
So lots of turrets being added right now. Mind really hitting the build. There's Hydra's speed on the way.
Okay, Muta's now going to try to snipe down maybe this turret. Very good placement here from Mind. You can see Zerg is just not quite comfortable enough pushing anywhere. Now, what do you want with the Hydras? Do you want speed, I assume, to make them better at engaging?
Both. You definitely want both.
Speed
he is getting speed first, but I'm actually not sure how a Zerg decides that, to be honest. I guess speed might make slightly more sense in a defensive manner, because you probably won't hit them until you have both, I would say.
Right.
We see that bunker coming up. It was interesting. I saw him getting Vulture speed off two factories.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that's a bit peculiar. That might be, he might have some idea of a counterattack or something, but the Sim City that we see for Shine here, I just don't know what you're going to do with Vulture speed here. It seems like a very strange upgrade to get before a third fact.
How many Vultures do we even have in this game?
Well, none right now.
None, right? Yeah.
I'm a little bit weirded out by the Vulture speed, but whatever.
Keep in mind that the Terran is turtled up. The map is a dark and scary place. There's no scanners out here, so you can't scan and confirm this.
Yeah.
Although you can notice a lack of mutas out on the map. That's one way to tell about this.
Well, that can be actually a funny mind game, which very few Zergs do, where they just show a few mutas and you're like, okay, he's switching to Hydras, but they're actually making mutas.
Yeah, and they fly out with all the mutas at once and just crush you.
That's the 190 IQ play. Not
190?
Yeah, no, it's not the 200 IQ play, but it's the 190.
420 IQ play. But
no, it's certainly not that.
So, is it possible to just do a dive on the bunker?
Yeah.
And just win this position?
Well, this is what he should do, for sure. Get in there, kill the bunker so the SCVs aren't very helpful. Okay, good stuff. Now,
I love this play here from Shine.
Yeah, I think the problem is he's engaging the big amount of Goliaths with half of his stuff, and then the SCVs are the other half. I feel like he could micro this slightly better, but this is a great attack.
Well, he's killing so many workers here. Yeah, and now he can get underneath the CC and just kill this off.
If you get the CC, that's it. You cannot be losing that CC, and it is gone.
It's gone, man. Beautifully done.
Damn.
Shine is so good,
Are
man.
we sure that Mind wins this?
Maybe they just were teasing us with
the
production
clowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he wins this game.
He's diving pretty darn
1,000%
hard.
Clear. Oh, yeah, I don't know how on earth you could throw from here.
Yeah, it would be pretty difficult.
So this must just be game one. Mind gets crushed.
Now we can see the comeback. Look at that. Another command center dead. That was a kill.
Yeah.
It's not a cancel.
GG.
Okay.
All right, Shine.
Yeah. So
maybe this is where Shine wills his way back into the universe. He's just like, no, even though I lost, I wanted it so bad that now I've changed the arc of the universe.
He's going into the replays. He's playing inside the replays right now.
Nobody can understand it. Mine's already on the way home thinking he's advanced.
Yeah. Then Mind passes out and
we
wakes
don't know.
up in the
How
hospital.
Can you explain these replays that we have and he doesn't know?
He's in the emergency room with everyone else who lost the finals.
Yeah. He tries to look at a photo of himself, but his face is all warped like the ring.
So, I mean, that
he
was...
goes back to watch the replays, but then Shine crawls out of the computer monitor like that chick in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has lurkers way too early and burrows him and kills him.
Ouch. Ring was a good movie.
That was one of the best scary movies ever, man.
Yeah, I don't like scary movies, but that was a pretty good one.
Well, most scary movies are pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I like bad movies. Like if it's the right kind of bad.
Yeah, no, I know you don't like bad movies because you don't watch any of the Marvel movies, but and
Oh, yeah,
there's some
there's
bad
some-
ones in there and there's some good ones in there. There's very few mediocre ones, Stasis.
Yeah.
They're either great like Thor Ragnarok or Guardians of the Galaxy, or they're just really like,
Some of them are so bad.
wow, I can't believe I'm watching this.
Yeah.
You only live one time. I understand what YOLO meant.
Yeah, usually scary movies are just not that scary.
God, 9-pull speed.
Oh, yeah. Bringing it back to 2001.
Yeah, well, he might be expecting a 1-1-1 out of Mind, and Mind is not doing that. He's going for a bio opening, almost certainly. We'll see in just a second here. Yep, he's going for a bio opening. So, bio openings are pretty good against 9-pull speed, but 9-pull speed can actually catch 1-1-1s.
Yeah.
It's like pretty funny in a very sad way. Like that's if you're like new to Terran, you try the 1-1-1, sometimes you'll just die to this and be like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, 9-pull speed's incredibly strong because initially just getting Lings with speed, Lings are so good. You pull the drones off of gas, and then you get that Ling speed. The problem is you don't have very many drones, so it's hard to progress. If they simply hold this off and block it, you just don't have a lot of drones. I'm too fat. I'm too... They said I was fat. I guess they were right. Uh-oh. Lings are on the move.
Okay, so he knows that that's on the way. This is so big that he gets to pull his SCVs. What gets dangerous is if they actually get up the ramp with this. You oftentimes
Yes.
have to build a bunker. Now, holding the ramp can be a little bit dangerous too, because if they micro really well, sometimes they can break in, and then you lose a lot of SCVs and Marines.
You try to run through.
Good micro. Good
Yeah.
micro. Really nice micro there by Mind. Wow. Now, his second SCV that was on the map scouting, because he was doing a really safe scout pattern, gets in and sees that it's speed and that more Lings are being made. That is the most important scout of this game. Now he knows to reinforce that ramp and continually build. He just added a second barracks as well to make sure that he does not die. So now we see how Mind can win game number 2.
Yeah, this is looking like it's not going to end well. Like, if you're Terran right now, you see the Lings, you know that there's only a few things you have to do to win. And it's basically hold your ramp and just tech into whatever you wanted to do. Rats, there's SCVs at the ramp.
Yeah. And that is what he's checking for, too. Because sometimes the Terran will be greedy and try to pull him back. And then you're like, okay, I'll kill your Marines.
This is a very LZ Gamer-ish build here. This is like, my build is that I hope you make a mistake.
There's a lot of this on the ladder.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's holding perfectly. It looks like he's teching up as well.
There is no future for this Zerg.
Not much. Not much.
He's got 10 drones and 17 SCVs.
Now, don't forget, 3 SCVs are on the ramp. You just pull
Sure.
one back as you build your Marine count. You start pulling them back a little bit. But yeah, what you do with this generally is we'll see a couple medics pop out or a medic in a fire bat, and you'll just walk down the map to force Sunkens because they have so few drones already.
Yeah, yeah.
But what you have to look out for is a Ling counterattack. What I like to do is do like medic fire bat and then 2 fire bats to hold the ramp.
Yeah.
Because then when they counterattack, they're just like, ah,
Yeah.
can't do anything.
Oh!
And everything's so slow, it doesn't really matter that you bought all those fire bats. Because normally you don't want too many fire bats early game.
This is where you put the 2 fire bats on the ramp and they counterattack and they lose and they go, got so lucky this game.
wow, fire bats imbo. I'm like,
Fire
it's the
bats,
least
huh?
used unit next to the scout.
Yes. Shine already knows he's doomed in this game. He's doomed.
Well, the way that you try to win from here is Mutalisks. I think that going into Lurker would be as bad as you can get, but like for instance, the natural is a little bit late, so sometimes you can get in there and get a little bit of damage done. The turrets might not be ready. You know, you're trying to buy a lot of things right now as Mind. He had SCVs off of minerals. He doesn't have a command center. You can kind of play against this, but obviously a big advantage to Mind. Look at this. He's bringing the 2 fire bats. So what this is a bust. He's saying, yeah, go ahead and counterattack because I'm going to kill your Sunkens. This can kill 3 Sunks.
The counterattack's going to happen, but guess what? Artosis Fire Bats!
Yeah, 2 Fire Bats on the ramp. Look at that, he did both of them. 2 Fire Bats with the army, 2 on the ramp. Damn, man. Oh! Well, that was a nice pickoff. That was a really nice pickoff.
Can he just bust him? I think he might, but he is short 1 medic.
Yeah, losing the medic makes this so I don't think you go in. If he had been a little bit more, like,
on top of that medic.
yeah, a little bit more on top, had gotten down there slightly quicker. You got to use a lot of move commands to do something like this so that the blings don't slow you down. But yeah, I think there was definitely the possibility of busting there. Now, sending the Fire Bats off makes a lot of sense. Your opponent isn't going to have many lings. And if you send the Fire Bats to, like, other expansions, what is Zerg to do? They have to send so much to clear that. Like, it kills a drone. You can send mutas to kill it, or you can send, like, 3 lings and micro them.
Right. So, Zerg is continuing to throw down drones. Now, Zerg is catching up, actually, as far as worker count goes.
Yep.
I mean, it's 24 SCVs to 23 drones. This is what happens when you expand late as Terran.
Yeah. That's what allows you to kind of stay in the game. 9 pool speed that doesn't do much is not an auto loss, but yeah, again, just an advantage where you were looking for the quick win and it didn't occur. He's just got to get some turrets up. Now, what Mine does from here will be interesting. If he just goes like something like pure Muta, does he go into a Guardian Rush? It's really hard to say. I feel like with the amount of Sunkens he has, I almost feel like he should go into a Guardian Rush.
That's what I was thinking. I think a Guardian Rush should be a great way to play it out from here. Terran's Factory and Starport are quite delayed.
Yeah. If you just throw it on the Queen's Nest right now and just make it like, make it the back of the natural, because that's where they don't want to scan. Terrans want to scan the main and the 3rd hatch.
Yeah, it used to be the 3rd hatch was the popular place to hide the tech, but now the meta sort of changes around where you're going to scan.
It can be such a silly thing.
So, what's funny is this is a very old-looking game.
Yeah.
Because Shine went for the 9 pool, hoping to get a free win. It didn't work. Terran was forced into doing 1 base, which is a really old way to approach the game. Yeah, I would love to see Guardians here. I don't know if we're going to have it, but it makes sense. Because Guardians was the way it was played back then, too.
It's a strong way to play. I guess we'll see when he throws down that Queen's Nest.
Okay, if and when.
Well, if you don't throw that on the Queen's Nest, the only other 2 options are a giant lurker contain and pure Muta.
Right. Well, he's going to go take a 3rd. These Fire Bats are not going to be able to stop this.
Yeah. And see, this was worth the life of those 2 Fire Bats. First off, he had the bust potential. Second off, he just made those mutas fly all the way down there. So not only does he know that the bottom right is being taken right now, because that's when the mutas show up, but he knows where the mutas are. Notice how he moves this set of bio out of his main base right now.
Yeah.
He can do all sorts of things, like he's repositioning, he's chasing around some lings, because he knows where the mutas are.
There it is. Hive starting now.
Yeah, is that quick enough, though?
What is that in the center right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
It looks
the
like
shape
it's
of it looks like a depot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a couple units that he split off or something to run in later. That can be a fun play against people that are controlling you, controlling the map with Mutiling. If you have a couple units off on the side, then you just like, you know, you run 2 Fire Bats up into their 3rd or something.
Okay. They are going to be trying to snipe. The mutas are going to try to snipe this little area over here. Anything you can do to delay the Terran. Terran is building up to an inevitable push. Speedlings can be added into the mix here. Again, Ling Muta against Marine Medic. It's up in the air who wins. Depends on how the engages go. Both these unit comps do damage incredibly well.
Yeah. Right now, if all the Marine Medic were in a ball, not on a bridge or anything, they would win against what Shine has. But Shine is just holding the bridge really expertly. He's just not letting him across. You can't go across those bridges against mutas. It's like the least cost-efficient thing ever. You have to go like up and around if the mutas really don't want you to pass. All right, so just rushing up into Defiler.
Okay,
Yeah, see
not
how
a
much you
bad
scanned
engage.
done?
Yeah.
Huh.
Not a bad engage here. Is it Greater Spire? No Greater Spire?
No, no.
He's Defiler's Mound?
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that, sorry.
He's trying to get up into Lurker Defiler. If he can get Lurkers to the third base, I mean, I could see Shine taking this. It's possible. His drone count's okay right now. He's doing a good job of slowing him down. There are 2 starports out blinking now. I like this, by the way. For some reason, there's been a slight shift, I feel like, towards 6 racks before your third.
Why is that?
I don't know, but I started doing it at like the same time as all these pros that I'm seeing. I don't even, it just felt right.
It's kind of like this, you know, what was going on when we first came back, where everybody would get 6 gates, sometimes 8 gates before they get their third base in PvZ.
Oh yeah, a lot of 8 gating going on.
Yeah, where it's like, just power up.
Yeah.
This can't be wrong. You know, you don't need to like try to take an expand and risk dying.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like keeping more pressure on your opponent is good right now. Which it sounds like it's always good, but StarCraft's more complicated than that.
Well,
Sun Tzu had it easy.
It also seems like, you know, there was this whole period in StarCraft where it was about trying to squeeze your third base out as quickly as possible. People were sort of operating on this concept that, all right, well, we both try to get our seconds out as quick as possible. The real game should be how to get your third out, and now it seems like it's
well, that's
totally
kind of
changed.
a funny thing. Third base is, in some situations, on some maps, are actually a skipping thing for Terran, where you go from 2 to 4 on a lot of maps in a lot of situations. There are, of course, situations where you just get a third, but now a lot of times you're going up to 4 while Zerg's on 3 and you're heavily pressuring. So coming down here, he has a couple of radiates, so those are going to be for the lurkers on the ramp. I hope Shine has them stacked. He does not have them stacked. Well, that's not good. You should always stack. I think it's smart to put Zerglings over him. I think it's smart to put an Overlord over him.
Yeah, you want to abuse the fact that they have to be clicked on. So this is about to die. That means the Marines...
Go!
Go, 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 go,
You got to hit the millisecond they pop.
Oh my god, is Zerg going to hold this? I would be losing my mind if I was Terran right now. Oh, it's got 2 HP. Oh! Oh my god!
No problem.
Whoa!
9 pool speed opener, by the way.
Yeah.
Invincible. He's invincible now, Tasteless. It cannot be killed.
I guess you get to keep your third base, friend. Again, the moment the first Dark Swarm lands in this matchup, the entire dynamic of the game has changed.
Okay, starting to stack his lurkers now, so that's good.
It's much harder for the Terran, occasionally even impossible for the Terran to bully the Zerg. Whereas before, Terran was much more of a real threat with their infantry army.
Good vessel pressure going on. Now the question is what he's making right now. Is he making dropships or vessels still?
Might be going for 2 dropships.
Yeah, it's possible. It's fine to keep going vessels as well. And I saw that the science facility was lifted, so that might be turning into a physics lab.
He's trying to just clear out these lurkers over here.
Oh, he's got plague.
Yeah.
I think. The way that Defiler just ran forwards.
Yeah.
Whenever you see a Defiler running towards everything.
What do you think about him just building at 12?
Yeah, it's fine. He has complete map control. He's killed off the mutas. Like, right now, the only thing on Shine's mind is, number 1, not letting drops in, number 2, taking the 4th. He can't do any counterattacks right now. So as soon as you have a position, like you said, the Dark Swarm changes everything. When they actually have the Dark Swarm, you just keep pressuring with a Radiate like this, and you double expand more. Like I was saying, a lot of situations you don't want to just go to a third.
Right.
A third doesn't do enough. You want a third and a 4th. So this is fantastic by Mind.
We want to continue and watch the science vessel count. If this can continue to go up, I think Mind's going to win.
Yeah. It gets funny, though, too. Yeah, see, 3rd, 4th. So really important. He's even taking a 5th in the top right. This is all really correct play by Shine. I mean, Mind. Mind is playing a beautiful game right now.
Right now, Zerg's stuck on 3 bases. Terran is still in control, right? It's hard for Zerg to push out any further. You can see that he wants to probably take the 4th over here with his natural, where the Terran was in control of was.
Just the fact that he canceled out the 4th base one time is huge. Because he's really exploding as far as his economy goes. As long as he keeps his upgrades going, keeps producing, keeps his money down, then he's got a big advantage. Like, he can trade at a little bit of a disadvantage non-stop.
We just saw another plague go down on those vessels. Keep in mind, if he gets all those vessels plagued and they're ever isolated, one Muta can come in there with glaives and destroy everything.
Yeah, you see that really commonly.
Yeah. So epic when it happens.
Sometimes
too.
it's really good to get a Hydra, too. I'm surprised more people don't do that, because the Hydra under Dark Swarm
Oh, that's a good point.
can just run in there and ruin everything.
I've seen Larva do that a couple times.
Yeah, it's really good, actually.
I've even seen Larva do this technique where he goes for plague and goes for Hydras with speed and range and just
Oh.
they'll one-shot the Terran army. It's
Dude,
so cool.
that's the most frustrating thing. Whenever a Zerg is really far behind, that's what they do. They go Hydra Plague.
Yeah, it's
And
so
it's like,
strong.
you'll be way far ahead, and then the game will end up pretty close when you win, and you're like, huh, that was really efficient.
Now, I wonder if mine should have done this earlier. I guess he's probably going to win this anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah. To be honest, I like how he's played this. He went up to something like 8 vessels, just kept irradiating everything and keeping him off a 4th, because that is... The Zerg can't kill you on 3 bases. They really need the 4th base to kill you.
is there a moment where you want to start making mass vultures with mines, or is that stylistic? Or
Stylistic.
What? Okay.
Like, some Terrans really like it, and some Terrans don't at all.
Oh my god.
That was amazing. What a
Does
great... what a
Dropship
great
have
move.
the same death animation as an SCV? Did I just see that?
Oh, maybe. I know that Plague is actually just the animation of Marines dying.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
It's a bunch of it. It's an old game, guys.
There it is, dead Marines.
Yep. In so many ways. All right, so Shine is starting to get on the map a little bit. He's trying to tax the multitasking so he can set up a 4th base. I don't think he expects any of this to really actually do damage.
So it appears that once more Mind is going to deny the 4th.
Any GG.
That's it, GG.
All right. No big surprise on that GG. It's just, if you can't get your 4th up, that's about it. And he was trying his best there to do it, couldn't do it.
So here we are on, I think this is blockchain. Yeah, it's blockchain.
Yeah, tied up 1-1 right now. Just Mind and Shine.
Who's going to take it?
The way Shine's been playing, I'm leaning towards
I think
Shine.
it's going to be Shine,
Yeah.
for sure.
But honestly, he played that very well. That was after his deficit in the beginning. That was
Considering
really
that was
nicely
a failed 9 pool.
Yeah.
And
He
Mind
made
played
a lot of links
basically
too. It wasn't just
perfectly.
6 links. He made like 12 links.
I think he made more than 12.
12?
He made like 14.
No, he didn't make 14
He
links.
did,
You
Artosis,
madman.
he did.
You madman. You remember everything wrong.
I'm living in my own reality. I don't want to see Shine do another 9 pool.
No.
I think the 9 pool, look, 9 pool, if you just catch them when they're not ready, for instance, if Zerg had not gotten the first scout off, big chance that you just lose. This happens to me if I try to go gate first against a Zerg, and I end up scouting the Zerg in the last spot.
Yeah.
And as my Zealot is going out, they 5-pooled me. The links come right there and get my Zealot like right as it comes out.
Are you hitting 5-pool a lot?
I mean, at the ELO I'm right at where am I at now? I got like to 1930 and then I dropped down. I think I'm 1850, something like that, maybe 1840.
So you're the most dangerous type of Protoss, a B Protoss.
I'm a B Protoss right now, and so like I know I can get my way back up there, but like at that level, all the Zergs just do some kind of all-in to kill you.
Yeah.
Like if I can get to mid-game or late game, I'm fine. But it's like everybody is just doing crazy stuff. And then the number of people I encounter that go random, don't get me started on that.
I know. It's not real StarCraft.
It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Some of these maps, you know, where do you put your first pylon? Well, who knows?
No one
Nobody knows.
No, it's impossible.
Because when I got up to, you know, the 1900s, I thought the games were actually better because I knew what I was trying to do. But, you know, especially in B, there's so many people just doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
I had this one game. This is right when I started playing again because my hands have recovered. I scout this guy, and I see that he's making a Citadel. It's a PvP, by the way. So I go, okay, that's weird. It's a really fast Citadel.
Yeah.
He had, like, basically nothing. And so, you know, as I'm scouting, I'm going, is this for real? And I make a pylon next to it. It's on Fighting Spirit, by the way. And I just to confirm that it's going to finish.
I know how this story's going to end.
Yeah. And so I go, I see it finish. I go, okay. So I make a robo. And I think, well, this is so fast. And he has one gate. I'll just have observers and I'll expand. Probably not the best. Now that I look back at it, probably just better to get just a few more gates and do this. But I thought, okay,
Sure.
it's going to be 1 DT. I have 3 Dragoons by the time the DT gets there. So instead it was 3 DTs that got there with a Zealot because he made 2 gates in the middle of the map. And so I had 3 Dragoons and I go, what?
Yeah.
And suddenly I realized how hard it is to actually micro a whole bunch of Dragoons when DTs are all attacking him in different spots.
Yeah.
And then 3 more DTs, of course, come and I just lose the game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so this is the
that's
kind of
funny.
stuff you're dealing with at a certain rank.
No, that
Where-
is.
It wouldn't have occurred to me to think, oh, he has 2 more gateways in the middle of the map.
That guy
because
needs
nobody
an
does
award.
this.
No, that's a clown move.
Yeah.
I had a game where I was so confused. This was a while back, and it was like I think I got to his base and he had like a photon cannon out front. I'm like, oh, there is a fast expand build with a photon cannon out front.
PVT.
Yeah, but he had made 3 gates near my base on circuit breakers, and so I lifted my wall to float my barracks down as I was going down to expand.
Yeah.
And like 6 zealots, slow zealots, just as soon as I moved everything, walked right onto my screen, and I'm like, how could this even be?
I know. There's some things that people do where you just go, what game are you playing? Like, you're clearly good enough. I know you've seen, normal play, but instead, this is what you're going for.
Yeah. Gosh, you're so
And it's
silly
one of those
stuff.
builds where if you experience it once, you'll probably never lose to it again.
Yes.
You know?
Very much so.
These people, their contribution to StarCraft is to have a bad build they run that allows better players to then
Yeah.
go, thank you.
It's like, okay, you added another
game's
wrinkle to
done.
my brain.
Yeah, and they pull a microchip out, put it in the back of their head.
Yeah. You're like Neo.
I've become that much stronger now.
Okay, so this game, it's a 1-1-1 opener. I guess we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. But so let's say that Zerg goes for the more normal game here.
I think
Like,
so. I mean,
if they do that, what is Terran most afraid of? Because this matchup, especially, I'm not familiar with how it's
Okay.
supposed to operate.
in my opinion,
Yes.
Ultralisk Rushes are really good. Now, this is a 1-1-1, so 1-1-1 you normally have siege tanks with, just generally. So you might be able to just bust Zerg before they can hit Ultras. Yeah, things just get a little bit more tricky when the 1-1-1 is involved because of all the tech units that come out early.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
harder.
have to go 1-1-1 on this map, or can you
No,
actually?
you can play a regular bio game here too.
Okay.
But a lot of Terrans do like to do these early tech builds.
Is it just you want to use mutas to control the air, and is Terran simply trying to push into the natural and end the game that way? I mean,
Well, yeah, that's generally going to be how it goes. Obviously, you have your starport early, so you could go for a quick dropship to try to hit that other base. But the nice thing about 1-1-1 is you can get both Irradiate and tanks with siege mode. So if your opponent's trying to play, a less unit-heavy style, like if they're trying to just stay on mutas, Irradiate beats that. If they're trying to just defend Sunkens, the siege tanks beat that. So you kind of force them to play a more normal game with this build, I would say.
oh, here we go. Ling's out blocking right at the high ground of the ramp.
Beautiful drill. Beautiful drill.
Really good reactions
My
there by
God.
Shine, and he's going to catch this
Oh,
perfectly.
Shine. You're so good. I
gotta-
think Shine wins this series.
I think that tap we saw earlier was wrong.
I think it was a bunch of BS. For sure Shine wins this. He's actually playing a really good series today.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame.
He's a great player. Now, there's nothing over this turret to repair it in time.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I say that.
Are
Okay.
we kidding on that? Like, how did...
What?
Oh, that Irradiate. Brutal.
So he's going to have to sack that one. Oh, I love how he's got the vessels just hiding down there in safety. This is a little bit awkward here for Mind, guys.
Yeah.
This is right over where he's going to make all of his stuff. It's only 5 mutas, but if you don't have anything to address it, it becomes really problematic.
So he's going to take out that Wraith. Some more damage done to these mutas. They're getting real low. Like, he's slowing down these barracks and everything, but he is spending a lot of mutas to do it. Obviously, when the next Irradiate comes up, that's going to be painful as well.
Yeah, this bunching of the mutas was kind of the origin point of when people discovered just how strong mutas can be. They're so grouped up together. But of course, Irradiate, you can see, kind of hard counters it in a way. I mean, it's so hard to pull that one damage unit out of the group.
Yeah. Look how damaged they actually are at this point. But the fact that he's denying these barracks forever, this is actually really quite huge.
Yeah, I mean, the Terran would have
Yeah,
wanted
he force
to have,
cancels.
Yeah, the Terran would have wanted to have this barracks up a long time ago. So this is really slowing down his actual core production. He has 3 vessels out and, like, no infantry at all.
Well, you know, the one thing about 1-1-1 is you're trying very hard to hit a specific timing. You need to move out before 10 minutes. That won't be happening this game. So Shine has slowed him down in that regard. But to be fair, ooh, that was a sick pickoff. To be fair, he's made a lot of mutas to prevent this. So his tech route isn't going to be normally what you'll see in these situations. So even though the 10-minute move out won't be reached, it's not like Shine is going to pull way ahead because of that. But I feel like he's done a good job.
Well, this is pretty bold to try to go for the bunker. I don't think this is going to work at all. Does he just barely actually have enough? No.
Just barely doesn't have
This
enough.
was actually a huge mistake. That's a lot of damage on those mutas.
Ouch. Look at all those overlords over there. My God. Just rallies everything.
Yeah.
This Wraith for days chasing overlords. For fortnights stasis.
This turret's going to go down here. I don't know. I feel like Shine might have overdone it with the mutas here. What do you think? Like, this is about to be irradiated again, and he doesn't even have enough room to really pull them all apart here. And so this is just, they're going to get massacred in the corner. He might have another irradiate right before they leave. Does he?
They are so hurt. I don't know if I even aced it.
1v1. Who takes it?
Yeah, it's the muta every time.
Nah. Wraith gets out. Plot twist.
That's what I say when I give you a purple nurple.
Plot twist. I go, oh, stop. It's because your name's Plot.
By the way, he just killed 3 vessels.
Yeah. That really equalizes everything.
Yeah. Look at this. There's only 36 SCVs out there. He's killing every turret for decades.
Okay. Marines, this is such a sloppy game on both sides.
Yeah.
Like, so much damage has been taken here. There's no way for these guys to easily know where the other player's at.
Do you know why this happened, Tasteless? There is one player did one thing that forced this game to look like this.
Yeah.
It is Mine's building placement. With 1-1-1, your building placement basically needs to be perfect, and he did not have the proper turret coverage on his building barracks.
A lot of times,
and that's what caused all of this.
A lot of times it comes down to just like those few turrets in the middle between the main and the natural.
Yeah.
Those turrets getting up, because if they can get in between that and start doing damage, it's just crazy.
And just the fact he didn't get his Marines forever. You know, the last time that he had enough Marines to fight these mutas, it was, you know, Haley's Comet was coming through. It's just, and that's the next time he'll have enough too.
Yeah.
It's only once every 70 years, Tasteless.
By the way, it seems as though Zerg is not growing that much. We're sort of in a arrested development as far as tech goes here.
Yeah. One kill on that guy. He caught the Wraith.
He got him. He murdered his foe.
Yeah, finally. But is he going to sleep better? Revenge is a dish best served cold, Tasteless. Look at this. He's just committing. He's like, yeah, you irradiated him. I'll fly on top of your Marines. Kill another vessel.
You know the movie Speed, where if the bus ever goes under 60 miles per hour, it will explode? This is that version where if the Terran ever gets over 12 Marines, the game will explode, is what this is.
Yeah.
There's a bomb in this game.
And if you don't kill a vessel every 2 minutes.
Shine has to stop this game from exploding, and he has to save all of our lives here. And the only way to do that is to make sure there's never more than 12 Marines out in this game. This just gets to show you how down and dirty this match can get.
Yeah. The thing is, there's a reason why Mine's still in the game. Like, you're irradiating mutas. You know where his money's going because you see how many mutas are coming in, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's not like you're like, oh, he might have ultras behind this. No, you know he doesn't have ultras because of the amount of mutas you're watching. So, like, you know, you always have this thought in your mind as Terran, like, you know, maybe he overcommits a little bit, and I get a couple good irradiates, and then somehow I start to squeeze my way back into this.
So, I gotta say, by the way, it's incredibly frustrating as the Terran trying to control Marines in these bunched up areas.
Oh,
And getting him not get pulled
little
out.
thin areas.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gross.
And the ease of which, I shouldn't say that easy, but you can absolutely come in there and snipe them down,
Yeah.
Marines, if they're on the exterior.
Well,
Well,
Shine
I
has more supply than mine, and he's almost equal on workers, and he's taken the middle base. Woo!
so weird. Okay, here we go. Come at me, irradiate. Did he ease up on him too much? It seems like Terran might finally be able to get the infrastructure he wants to get. Oh, that was like never going to work. You can't even get links through that.
Make a hatch in his face.
Yeah, please. Suck and push him.
So how do you finish this as mine? Shine.
Shine?
Because he's still making mutas, isn't he?
That's a good question. I mean, I suppose you could get Guardians. He only has one starport, right? Or did he have two?
He has two.
I'm sorry.
He has
Then,
two.
I don't know. I guess I would seem to be like you could get Guardians. You could cover them with mutas. You could just push in. And,
I feel like the only way to lose this game is to only make mutas.
yeah, well, that's what he's doing right now.
Because like we're even equal on workers. He hasn't been able to hit any sort of move out time. He's 4 minutes late on the normal move out for this build. Shine is taking a ridiculous amount of bases.
I feel like any other Zerg would have teched out of this a little bit more gracefully.
Yeah, it feels like you could have just switched in a Lurkerling and sealed the game up after
Yeah.
the amount of damage done. But now there's so many turrets you can't even counterattack.
Yeah.
Mine should have +1 attack. He doesn't have that many Marines, but he has a decent group. And as long as he hits some irradiates, like maybe he can actually win this game.
I think there's actually a real chance that mine just pushes and wins the game, too. There might just be Terran justice here, Artosis. Oh! Nice. Snipes that vessel. Very
Terran
good.
Is winning this game Terran Justice?
This is Terran justice at its
Listen.
finest, okay?
I've been known from time to time to mention that Terran is harder than the other races and things are unfair.
No.
No,
When
I
have
know.
you said that, Artosis?
It's very rare, but
Yeah.
occasionally I'll speak up
Yeah.
and be brave for my Terran brethren. But to be fair, this game, I feel like mine's made enough mistakes that Shine is allowed to win it.
I'm going to tell you something. I know Terran players well enough. I know how this will end if mine wins with a push. Is he'll push and then say to himself, that guy was such an idiot.
Oh, 100%.
100%. He's so bad.
No, whenever I win a game like this, I'm
Yeah.
like, see guys, he's bad. And then if he wins, I'm like, see guys, he's bad.
Bad, yeah.
It's the same way.
Ah! Oh, pull him out. No.
Oof.
Not enough energy.
What if acid spores healed mutas?
Wow.
Get Devours in there
You
and
should
they're
get on
just
the Battle
attack-
Forums right now and let him know that one.
fixes stuff up.
What if this game ends with Terran just running out of minerals?
It's
We're
a
getting
realistic
close to 20,
possibility.
Getting close to 20 minutes here. Terran eventually just...
Dude,
I don't know. I don't have
He's
anything
still
else.
only making mutas. What
Yeah.
are his upgrades? 1-1.
1-1.
Okay, I mean, those are sick upgrades, but you're playing against
Greater
massive
Spire?
irradiate. No, there's no Greater Spire. There's
Sorry.
not even a high.
What a fool I am to
What a
assume
fool
that he would
you
get
are.
Just stop making mutas and make something else.
He's got more drones than mine has. SCVs, though. Just to throw that out there. He's up in supply. It's just, I mean, the more mutas you get, the better irradiate becomes,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So, like, if you have 1 muta, irradiate sucks.
These mutas are all
If
going
you have 6, it's pretty good. If you have 12, it's really good. You have
Yeah.
like 30 mutas. Irradiate is the most cost-efficient thing you've ever seen in your whole entire life. It's better than Psystorm.
all these mutas are going to merge into one giant face, that thing from Matrix 3 that the Sentinels became. He's going to irradiate it 6 times and it's all going to die.
Do you see what I see? What am I looking at? Shine wants to kill him with mutas so
This
bad.
is StarCraft at its finest, guys.
This is like, if you're a StarCraft 2 player, this is like trying to beat Immortals with roaches forever.
Yes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, you got one of the vessels.
The glass is half full. What am I seeing here? This is so weird. So remember that Zerg has a center which has 2 gases. The center is basically never... It's never normal to take the center.
Yeah, TVP only.
Yeah. Occasionally PVZ. But
Oh, really?
If things are falling apart on the islands, you're probably going to lose then anyways.
No, it's reasonably standard in TVP because the carriers can't really get there.
So
He's got one drone in his natural. Love it.
nice snipe on the tank. Not that there's ground units to attack, but hey.
I don't feel like there's any sunkens in the center either.
Yeah, yeah.
Shine's going to lose this game, man.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know how.
Oh, I do.
Is it Radiate? Is that how?
Yeah. He's addicted to mutas.
He's got a real mute addiction right now.
He can't stop making mutas. He can't help himself.
Yeah, you don't need to kill that siege tank, don't worry.
Have you ever been playing a game where you know you're playing badly, but you can't stop yourself from doing the dumb thing?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day I have a game that looks exactly like this, where I'm like, no, I'm gonna kill him with this!
Yeah.
I will kill this Terran with just Wraiths! And then there's like 400 turrets and Valkyries. It's like,
You play perfectly until late game, and then something happens, and you just...
I see myself making the moves. I'm just like
yeah. You're
making a speech in my head about how this is unjust.
You just stop getting upgrades, or...
My God, the amount of irradiates. Well, look at that. Finally, he irradiates something so weak it just popped immediately.
So I never need to see mutas again. I mean, this is just...
Hey, Tasus, what's this like for you to only see TVZs today?
So this matchup, it's not my matchup, but it looks pretty cool, huh? You Terran and Zerg players, you guys... No, you guys got it.
We got it, man.
Yeah.
This is how all of them look.
This is how
too.
all the games look, right?
This is how it always looks. Is
Yeah.
exactly this.
What is that thing on the ground? What was that? Is that a muta that hasn't grown its wings yet?
Yeah, no,
Is that a baby muta?
That's just a little hut of mutas.
Okay.
They're still growing up.
When they mature, their wings sprout out,
Oh my God.
and their mouths get bigger.
Oh my God.
Oh, please! Ah! Ah!
Oh, he just could not split that one. What's a good saying for like all the something and something?
What?
For like
All the irradiates ever on mutas?
there's some old saying I semi-remember as a kid. It's like, I couldn't do that for all the like gold and
Yeah,
China
all the
or
water in
something
the
like
ocean
that.
or something, yeah.
all the mutas in this game. He's lost like 40 mutas this game.
Artosis, I think he's lost a lot more than 40 mutas. All right.
What a fool I am. I'm so sorry. Hey, he's mined
He's
out!
mined out!
Almost.
Keep it up, Shine.
You almost got it, Shine.
Just expand a little
Hey,
bit
you took bottom
slower
right, too.
and keep making
Ah! That's the way to split your mutas. You fly them over the Marines.
Okay, so this is the worst game I've ever seen in my entire life.
In your entire life.
Yeah.
You've lived a long life and seen a lot of games. Are you sure?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bowl and pour bleach into it and then put my face in it and melt my eyes and most of my facial features off because I never want to see anything again, ever.
My God. But what if this is brilliant? What about that?
Think about how preposterous what you just said is. But what if this is brilliant? Oh, wait a minute, yeah, but what if this is brilliant? He could have teched into Ling Lurkers so long ago. We would have been in the other best of 5 by now.
Do you know how many lurkers he would have had? If he had switched, he'd have like 30 lurkers.
We'd have irradiated all of the lurkers and there would still be lurkers left over. I want to just get a tally of how much damage has been dealt by Irradiate.
I know.
Okay?
Every
It
time
might
he
be the
casts
biggest
it,
number mankind has ever seen. We might try to display it and the computer crashes because there's no number that can be that
You
big.
find a new prime number.
Yeah.
It's the amount of mutalisks that have been made and killed by Irradiate damage.
22 minutes. 22 minutes of only mutas. Look at this. He's got a CC over here. You know who's going to be really pissed about this is mine. Both these guys know this is wrong, okay? They both know that this is completely effed up. This is just... What
They
am I...
both know this is wrong.
They both know this is wrong. They both know this game is an abomination. This game is a crime against nature.
Oh, God. I don't want it to end.
Oh, my God.
Okay, send the drones down there.
Well, he's got to land the command center. We're going to go to 40 minutes, Artosis.
Yeah. I want it, Tasteless. Does he have any more upgrades than 1-1 now?
You know how badly in Shine's mind he's like, please God, don't let him be the center. Please let this game end. Oh my God, he sent SCVs over there.
We need some more. Mine doesn't have much gas in it anymore.
Oh, you must be talking about the 100-Year Muta War. I was there for the 100-Year Muta War.
100-Year Muta War.
Yeah. That was the great war of our time.
Yeah. It was really hubris that kept them both in the game.
Oh.
They say that any other general could have ended that Muta War at any time.
Oh. Well, he doesn't have double gas in the middle,
No.
which means he can't
He's
make
lost
as
2
many
geysers, but he might have almost mined him out at that point. Now, where's his other mutas?
He's getting worse at splitting, by the way.
He's
He's just losing them all.
He's got like 2 mutas left after all that.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Click
losing
on
about 7 mutas for every irradiate now. It's just so bad.
Imagine that. Every time you cast a radiate, you're basically gaining half of a mineral patch and a fourth of a geyser. Like,
It's just
how crazy is that?
Terran got the middle of the map.
He did.
And here's the thing.
No, Shine's going to take everywhere, though. You watch this. He's
Dude,
coming back.
Here's the thing. I got to point this out. He didn't mine a lot of minerals in the middle, so it's actually a very rich location.
Oh, he's got +2 carapace, though, Tasteless. What do
Yeah.
you think about that?
Wait, where'd the CC go?
It's landed there. Oh, wait, no.
No, it's not. It's
Where'd it go?
Did he kill it?
No.
Is that it?
I think he just accidentally floated in another direction. I don't know. Look at this. Is he going to attack with the Marine Medic SCV in the bottom right?
I hope.
The sunks aren't ready, Tasteless. He's hitting his 24-minute timing.
What about those 2 baby mutas? What did he become? Growing up mutas. What did he do? What, now he
I
just-
don't know.
What is... Okay.
What are these SCVs doing is the big question. You know what? I think Shine did do it. I think he actually did do it.
Do we have to let one of them play in KSL, though? This is, here we go. The SCVs are coming in. Is Shine actually going to lose this? Is
No.
this the end of the 100-Year Muta War?
No.
No.
Irradiate's now a Zerg spell. He did a lot of damage to those Marines with it.
I think that's it.
Does Medic SCV beat Lings, though?
Oh, he did it! All right. He did it! And in other news, we have disqualified both these players from the tournament. They will not be.
Oh, my God. So tasteless.
You know, just stay in the game a little bit longer. Let's.
What do you think
Okay.
about that game?
What do I
That was
think
a
about
good
that game? I think 100 years from now, when they're making paintings about that game and singing songs about that game, as StarCraft at its finest.
You know what I'm really thankful for? Is that Shine won that, so we know we get 2 more games. That's what I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for, Tasteless?
Me? I'm thankful for air units.
Oh my God.
I drank so much caffeine in that game just trying to.
I'm going to punch the
Stay
lump on the
with
back
it.
of your neck, too.
Yeah.
You're going to get caffeine poisoning. So,
I'm not sure how this matchup works anymore. This is.
well, I tell you what. I don't think you, Shine, or Mind know how
Yeah,
this
yeah.
matchup works
I
anymore.
feel like we need to have a trial like in Game of Thrones and bring each player forward and have them explain themselves
Listen,
in that game.
I think that we should walk behind them with a bell saying "for shame" as they
Yeah,
walk through the
that's just-
town square.
I
That's what I
understand the idea of what Shine was initially trying to do, which was to snowball it with mutas, but there was a point where that clearly was just not the best route.
Oh my God. Those mutilas.
I guess there is some method to his madness in that he can't take a third if there's mass muta, so you can just try to wear him out. In his defense.
Ooh. Pushing for that one, Jesus.
Yeah, sorry. Were you a Zerg cheese lobbyist?
Are you a Shine apologist, Tasteless?
yeah.
What is going on here? My God. I really want to see the stats on that game, exactly how many mutas were killed, how much damage a Radiate did. That would be a great one.
So we have Shine, a quick little scout. Mine's positioning with the wall in. Telegraphs to us that he wants to get a quick expansion up.
So,
That game ruined me.
yeah, no, I know.
That game, I think, might have pushed me over the edge.
You ever have a game like that, Tasis?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What abomination did you do?
I had this game where the Terran was mined out for like 10 minutes and I couldn't kill him. And he was like going around killing all my stuff. His army was just too strong.
Oh, you told me about this game.
It was
This
like the most
recently,
embarrassing,
right?
the most embarrassing game ever.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was watching. She's like, "Is he cheating?" I'm like, "No, he's not cheating. I'm just really bad.
That's the
I
best.
can't kill him. That's how bad this is." I did end up winning it, but it was just like,
What were your upgrades? Like 1-0?
yeah, it was one of those games.
1-0 against 3-3?
Yeah, 3-3. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
I recalled on his army and everything just disappeared the moment
Yeah.
I got there. It was one of those games.
Totally.
So
Let's just agree to be quiet for a
yeah,
little
let's
bit.
just be let's just play whale sounds over this cast.
Yeah.
So what is Shine gonna do? He tends to not play standard at all.
Well, he's not playing standard here either. He's going 3-hatch play, which is not normal for this map. Normally 2-hatch is considered a bit better. He's playing against a wall in here as well. I bet you that we're going to see 3-hatch lurker. I think he'll go 3-hatch lurker to take a nice, fast third base.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to
Maybe look for a fight if Terran tries to move out.
Yeah. And I think that would be... Oh, my God. Evolution Chamber, that is so
Oh,
quick.
wow. What, does he want, armor or something?
Yes, it's for armor. So this is probably an Ultralisk rush build, but there are builds where you get quick armor and make lots of lurkers and lings.
Yeah. That's an older build.
And in fact, this might be a reaction to the fact that Mind likes 1-1-1, because if you have quick +1 carapace and you have lots of lurkers and lings, then you're going to crush their first attack, because things like a Radiate and Sea Chinks aren't as useful there. You just need a lot of units. So that could be it, or it could be building up to an Ultralisk Rush. And both of those are actually fine against 1-1-1 style, I think. But this isn't 1-1-1. So build order-wise, I like Mind's build. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see another game like that last one.
What?
I know.
That's so funny when we have a program that ends up like that.
Yeah. Well, StarCraft 1 is... I mean, this game is so ridiculous in so many ways.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can absolutely have a game that looks like that, we'll never see that again.
No, we will
That will
never
not
see
occur
that
again.
again.
You know what? I'm sure that, yeah. I'm sure that StarCraft has more different games than any other game.
Oh,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah, I would agree with
Where
that.
every game is so bizarre and different, and you get so many weird
You can
situations.
get so many unique situations, and
Yeah.
especially because the more you get, the harder it is to do anything.
Yeah.
So he's going to push out here. Now, Shine, 90% of the time, doesn't play Orthodox at all. So he's one of these guys that it's predictable that he'll be unpredictable, but you got to try to figure out what kind of offbeat play that's going to be. So this little push we see out here, this is intended to force sunken colonies out here. In other words, it's forcing the Zerg to use drones to make defense.
He has to, like, pull his drones, I think.
Yeah, this might be coming out fast
I
enough.
think that this... I
Well,
mean, he's
is
slowing
Stim
him on the
done?
bridge slightly.
Stim should be done.
Yeah,
No,
I
he's
guess
not going to do it.
Because that was actually... He's scanned, so I'm like, oh, I think with how far he is, actually, that's a bust. Even with that tiny amount of units. But yeah, anyways, Shine holds, so cool. So
And
up
so
to 4x immediately. Yeah, this is all very standard stuff for Mind.
Is this 5 racks total, right?
4. Oh, it is 5.
Yeah. And that means he wants
you're
to,
right.
to
So
try
he-
to roam and just lock out a third base.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of funny, because normally you'll see just quick +1 5 racks play, and then when it's 2 barracks, you'll go into 4 racks. But he powered a little bit. That's why his actual bio group is a little bit smaller, is he cut some of his bio production to get the extra racks up. But this is going to slow down his tech, which is sometimes what you really want with the 2 barracks play is you can get up tech. You're a little bit more robust to get out your factory quicker. But for instance, right now this is more of a 5 racks +1 factory timing. Is that a drone in the top right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And his SCV's there.
So that
scouting.
SCV
Sick.
is going to tattle on him.
Yeah.
Should make a bunker there for the push.
Just build a barracks there.
Got to be careful.
Why
going
aren't
up
those
is-
irradiated?
We're not at that part of the game yet.
Oh,
I know
okay.
that you probably thought that all of TVC was just mutas and
Yeah,
vessels
yeah, that's what I thought.
fighting, but it's actually, contrary to popular belief, not
Not bad.
ever like that the entire game.
Damn. So it looks like he's going to cancel this top right, which is unbelievably important. You need to hold on to 3 bases with these Ultralisk Rush builds. It's really, really, really critical. But he hasn't actually made that many units. Like, Shine is playing pretty greedy here.
Okay, they're beginning to push up. It's incredibly important that Zerg holds this. And one of the things about the way that Shine opened up, he has a very strong army. Ling Muta can absolutely crush Medic Marine if they get the right attack angle here. This is why we see Terran backing up towards this ramp here, or towards a wall at least.
This reinforcement timing
Oh, so good.
is something else. That was like a magical reinforcement timing. Just nailed that. And now he can get rid of that top right, which
Yeah, I
is the
think there's
most
no way to
important
save
part
it,
of this
right?
game.
There's not enough Lings. The mutas are too squishy.
Yeah, I don't think he can save this at all. Ooh.
Oh,
Some nice
God,
micro.
glaives are good.
Yeah. It's still, there's so many medics in there. He might have +1 carapace now on his Lings.
Oh my God, this
Yeah.
position's really good here on the ramp. The Lings
Yeah.
can't be optimized at all.
The medics are in the way. You can't even hit him. But Shine knows he needs the space, so this is... Picked off all but 1 medic.
Now, reinforcements are not even... Oh, no, excuse me, they're just now coming out. Notice how he's trying to preempt the mutas. He turns the Marines, whips them around so that he can get targeted shots onto them.
Yeah. You have to mirror the mutas completely. When they run, you should run. When they run towards you, run towards them.
Senzu. He takes that hatch out, and this usually means Terran's going to win from here.
Yeah, this is a really good position.
The objective for the Terran is to deny the third. So Zerg is forced into going on to 2
Wait, that's
2
a
base.
6th racks? Oh, okay, he's got 2
7th.
evade.
7th racks. This is the one at the entrance. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He floated that there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. This is not hard to win from here. Mind has so much muscle.
Yeah, the only thing that he's really relying on is trying to get chitinous plating and ultras out. But we saw that Mind has 2 ebays, so he's already kind of nailed what he needs to nail. As long as he gets into 2-1 as quickly as he can, he's always going to have an army that's strong. There might be some short window where Shine has better upgrades, but then there'll be basically equal upgrades again, and with this much production, you got to lean towards Mind heavily.
Yeah. One other problem is that every time we see a muta go down, you can support continuous muta production, but not much else tech on 2 bases. That's why the 3rd base is so important.
Yeah.
It allows you to balance your economy to where you can have defilers, lurkers, and mutas.
He's got 7 racks. Wow. Kind of cool, actually, to see the 7 racks on 2 base.
Kind of reminds me of some of the stuff we've seen from Light. They'll just power up for a long time, you know?
Yeah. Well, in a situation like this, like I mean, this makes a lot of sense. Really. Like, he's going so heavy Marine Medic to fight against Ling Muta, because you know that they are going to stand Ling Muta when you see an Evo that quickly, because they can't spend too much gas. They need to really focus on getting those ultras out, because that's the whole crux of the strat.
This is just getting worse and worse for Shine. He might actually tap out pretty soon here. Oh, there it is. All right, wow. Damn, we're
Well,
good.
okay, well, you got that, but it was the wrong call, because did you watch the last game? Neither
the
of
one
these
with all the
guys,
mutas?
I didn't think either of these guys were ever going to leave this game.
Last game.
Okay.
We don't know who's going to win. Or maybe we do.
Whew. Okay, cross spawns.
When Artosis makes his owl sound.
Having a hoot watching these games.
Nice. Cross spots on Fighting Spirit. this can be troublesome for where the Zerg wants to take its third. Third base is usually more pushable in cross spots, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's quite true. Actually, if your cross spawns like this, and the Terran, like in Zerg goes 3 hatch, and Terran goes 5 racks +1, I always feel like that is a pretty good position for the Terran because those third bases are so close, and you can really put the pressure on before lurkers get there. Of course, you don't have to play it like that. 5 racks +1 isn't quite as popular as it used to be.
Right. And again, as we've said before, Shine is a player who does do a lot of weird builds. He likes to tech into unusual plays here and try to play around whatever the standard meta is. He'll basically take a look at what you're doing or figure out what your respective race on this specific map does, and try to figure out some kind of weakness and exploit it and punish it. And he's had this to great success. I mean, this guy was an ASL finalist who could only be stopped by the best player of all time, Flash. But it does seem like Shine's fallen off a little bit. We're waiting to see if perhaps he'll come back one day.
Well, I think when you play this style, it's hard to stay near the top consistently. Whereas if you play a more mechanic-heavy style, it's easier to stay towards the top consistently. Because as soon as you screw up builds a couple times, you lose. Whereas if you're just mechanically really strong, you can kind of grind your way through people. So yeah, not surprised to see him fall off slightly. But I gotta tell you, that Overwatch game actually really makes me think some. Just the way that Mind went about it, I definitely feel like I learned a little something there. That was cool.
Yeah.
Just the 7 racks, 2 base, quicker second E-base, slower second port, just to make it all fit together.
Well, I guess
Really
there's
cool
no
stuff.
reason to try to take a third that you have to defend, because all you have to do is stop them from getting their third. If you're trying to take your own third and they come back and counterattack and maybe it makes you turn around. I don't know.
Yeah. I like it. That was good. The blockchain game, didn't learn anything there, but definitely learned something here. Okay, so 3 hatch play here from Shine. Oh. Is he actually just going to sneak top right immediately? That's crazy. Yeah, the gas should... Okay. Oh!
Get wrecked.
Yeah,
Get
nice.
out.
Nice steal.
Get out the game.
Oh, that's a scouting drone. Never mind. So I was going to say, is he going to take top right, like right now?
Yeah,
that would be very
he's got
sneaky.
3 hatches.
Yeah,
I think if an SCV scouting you would know right away.
if they took another hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't take it right then. That's why I was talking about the gas, because if they don't take the gas by 3 minutes, you got to be like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like,
something's wrong.
there's
here.
no reason on Earth you would not start the gas by 3 minutes. There's
Yeah.
just there isn't a build for that. So that would definitely be a situation where a second SCV would be on the map for me.
So, again, we've got Terran expanding quickly, and this time barreling very quickly into +1 attack at the eBay.
Yeah, that's a really strong choice of build for these positions, like we talked about before.
Yeah, because you can't push as easily. I mean, basically, the further the Zerg is on the map, the harder it is for Terran to punish them. Most likely, Terran will attempt to punish as Zerg takes the third base, which is normally in another main. And because it's cross spots, the other mains are in the either upper right or lower left. And so having +1 attack is going to make that push much stronger and probably allow you to win the game in a simpler fashion, assuming it works.
Yeah, it's if you misstep at all as Zerg against 5 racks +1, you can actually, the game can get out of control. People have gotten much better against it, though.
Right.
So I'm not expecting for the game to just end quickly. Oh, quite on the contrary, Tasteless.
Oh, my friend.
Oh.
All right. So this SCV is going to be picked off. He doesn't see anything out of the ordinary, but that was a good scout there by Terran. You don't normally ever see an SCV get into the main in this phase of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
So the Academy comes down now. We have a decent number of links. Are we getting link speed? Is that happening?
Must be. It has to be.
If it's 3 hatch like this, it has to.
Yeah, you'd never not get it with 3 hatch.
Artosis, I got to go to the bathroom so bad, man.
Yeah? Just go. I won't tell anyone.
It's right here.
Oh, well, I was saying more go to the bathroom. But yeah, if you want to just go in your pants right there, I won't tell
Right
anyone
now,
about that
My bladder
Yeah.
feels like the way a tea kettle sounds when it's done heating. It's whistling.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it feels like. It feels like that sound.
Yeah, it feels like that sound.
Yeah. Does it feel like the color yellow also?
Yes, it does feel like the color yellow. Now, again with a 3-hatch play here from Shine. Like, he wants to pick a fight. He wants to try to take the Terran on in the middle of the map, but I think Terran's got a pretty good response to this, which was already within the blueprints of his build already, right? He's just going to go for 5 racks with +1 attack, have a powerful Terran army. By the way, Zerg is now taking the bottom left.
Yeah, and that's actually the more sneaky location. Yeah, kind of an interesting scan there. He was trying to get a lot of information, but didn't get any.
Well, he
But,
probably knows there's no Hydras because there's no rally point there or anything like that, too.
Yeah, that's probably true.
In case there was a den made.
But yeah, for Shine, top right is actually the better location to take as a third.
Now, why is that?
Because on Fighting Spirit, like for instance this spot, the bottom right, your third base is Terran is 6 o'clock, right? So
Oh, I
if
see.
the place that you are most heavily pressuring is the 4th base, which would be the natural bottom left in this position.
Okay.
So if you're heavily pressuring there, you're basically defending your third at the same time. Whereas if they expanded the top right, and then you're heavily pressuring the 4th base there, which would be the top right natural, then your third base needs its own set of units there,
Yeah.
right? Like they actually have some sort of counterattack potential. It's not like the end of the world or anything. Getting the third base up is a billion times more important than anything else.
Does he have vision of that location yet?
Bottom left?
Yeah, I don't know if he knows.
I do not know if he's... I've been hearing scans, so I wouldn't be surprised if he knew it was there. But realistically, he should reinforce this and move.
So we got to see if Shine can actually handle this. And you know, I don't know. Can he actually get over here? This is quite a lot of Medic Marine.
Yeah, it is a lot.
As long as he's able to stem into the Zerg army, he should be okay. If he gets up the ramp, he needs to get a lurker over to the ramp right away. If he gets one lurker egg there, he can buy enough time.
Yeah, he's trying to slow it down so hard, but you didn't even send the Hydra over yet. So it looks really bad for Shine. Really bad. This is not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I mean, this is all but over here for the third base. There's more reinforcements coming. Notice how he's staying on the ramp. He knows that if he's on the ramp, the Lynx can't really get good surface area. And at the same time, you can't get a lurker over there to cover the ramp. Oh my god, this is so well done here by Mind. It looks like more Lynx are going to come forward, but now it's already too late. So much damage being dealt onto this hatchery. The Lynx coming here trying to save it. Yeah, there's just no way. And again, this is the first step towards killing the Zerg in the mid-game.
Yeah, this is just such a great kill. Shine definitely in some trouble now. Going up towards that hive, but actually even slow for that. He really doesn't have anything going on.
Yeah, we've got a repeat scenario for what happened in Game 2. I mean, he just... Or no, I'm sorry, not Game 2, the last game. He's going to try to counterattack here, and this is just not going to work. There should be too many SCVs over here to repair the bunker.
Just even the blocking there. The
Yeah.
fact that he had that many to repair. The fact that he had a bunker and he has 5 racks. That's part of the power of 5 racks is you have so many Marines popping out at once, you can defend counters pretty well.
Yeah, unlike if you had a much smaller number, the Lynx could just come in there and surround everything.
Yeah.
And that's that.
If they counterattack you and you're on 3 or 4 racks, it can be a lot scarier.
So we need to see some, kind of a Hail Mary play here from Shine if he's going to win this, because on paper, the Terran is supposed to be able to close this out.
Yeah, if you keep your pressure up and get into your vessels, that's going to be optimal. So he finishes up some starports. We see the science facility is just about done as well. Yeah, everything looking strong. Shine's trying to take top right. Looks like it's about to be scouted, though.
Mind is on top of it.
Yeah, he's playing real nice.
It's too bad Shine's wacky play was so effective not long ago, but now it's not up to par with just standard solid Terran play. And he was very successful in this matchup specifically.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of good CVTs.
Oh,
last
some
couple
hold position
years.
lurker play could actually be a win here. No vessels are with the army right now. Another set of hold position lurkers.
Yeah, good locations on both.
Oh, he did not have the hold position. Excuse me.
Okay, well, as soon as you see that he has lurkers out in random positions, this is where you kind of start scanning ground more.
Yeah.
Just stimming through the center of the map. Okay, that works too.
Yeah, he's a little crazy. I'm so surprised he stimming went through the middle of the map.
Yeah, he took a funny enough route that there probably weren't lurkers there, but like for instance where those other hold position lurkers are, that's actually a semi-common place for Zergs to put them.
Great scan here. Takes out one lurker, the other one unburrows and backs up. Mind is pretty bold for being in the middle of the map like this with no vessel, relying purely on scan. I mean, hold position lurker is the counter to Terran who roams without a science vessel.
Yeah, that's true. But even just holding that position he has right now is pretty strong. It's hard for Mind or Shine to move around the map as well. Damage output of this biocom is just so strong.
Okay, now with the vessels, Terran is a real threat. Sometimes Terrans go and try to take the third out again, but it seems like with the Nidus coming out, Terran's more interested in trying to take a fight at the natural, where it's on low ground. It radiates much stronger here as it kills off the lurkers. One or two stray lurkers can just be gunned down by the sheer strength that Terran has.
Some Scourge coming out. Yeah.
This seems to be the beginning of the end. Right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? What do you say?
This is, I mean, that was a fine trade, to be honest. Like, it went a little bit wrong at the end, but trading Marines for lurkers right now is amazing for 5-racks.
Yeah, yeah. GG.
Okay.
Yay.
And that does it. Mind advances 3-2.
Our match that was spoiled early on, we got to see that, in fact, the spoiler was correct.
Yeah.
Just
Mind
in
versus
case.
Shine. You're not going to believe game number 3. My God. Okay, so we're done the first half of the day.
Yes.
Halfway through Tasteless.
Bring it on.
I
I'm
just
ready
need
for
some
more.
more of those blockchain games.
Please. I want only mutas from here on out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first half of all the groups. What was that group? A through E?
I don't know. What are the first 6 numbers in the alphabet?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, so we have Shine, Soma. I mean, not Shine.
No, not
Sharp.
Mind.
Sharp, Soma,
Mm-hmm.
Mind. Wow, if Shine had advanced, that would be only S-named players.
Whoa.
Light. I got the important infos.
Yeah.
Forg.
4GG. What else is there?
And Modesty.
Okay.
Okay, so far in KSL, we have ZTTTZ. All right, so we have 4 Protoss, 4 Terran, 2 Zerg so far in KSL for the next season.
Cool.
And we have 6 more players coming through. So we're hoping for at least a couple more Zergs.
Yes.
For sure. And we definitely have very good ones playing in these next groups. So I definitely think we're going to get some more Zergs in there. Hoping that the Protoss number doesn't go up anymore. We don't need to see Rain only win PvPs to win championships.
We're
over and over
racist
and over.
against Protoss players in KSL. We had too many in that last season.
Yeah. Well, it's getting to a very hilarious point sometimes in some of these ASL and KSL seasons where it's like the bracket lines up in such a way that Rain only has to play PvP to win.
Which he never loses, so.
He never loses.
Yeah.
So it's like this really, it's like Rain PvP is even more one side than Flash playing people.
So
know?
crazy.
It is.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial, I think. Yes, we are. Short break. When we come back, we continue on with the second half of the KSL.